to start recording, thank you. Okay. It's the start of a new season of Death Battle, and we're going to react to it. I am joined here by celebrity guests Will Smith, and I didn't have a second funny name lined up for this bit, so I really should have thought about this in advance. Hey.
I'm not Will Smith.
It's me,
You're
Will
Smith. Yeah, because I'm not the guy who got cucked by Tupac.
I'm glad he remembered that I always give him the funny name, so he just went immediately to it.
Nah, I've been sitting here for like 2 hours. My eyes are like, I'm keen, I'm ready. I'm hyped up on caffeine, listening to you all talk about Godzilla.
Sorry, I was doing things.
I was doing things. I made dinner.
I have to eat.
So we're watching Ant-Man versus the Atom. Before we get started, who are you going for? Who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I want Hank to win.
Mostly, but at the same time, I want to be pleasantly surprised by the reasoning just being something I'm completely unfamiliar with. The only thing I have as far as reference for going into this episode is I've seen like the preview of the fight and the preview of the analyses. So I don't have much history with these characters. I don't know too much about what they can do or how strong they are, and I only vaguely know a little bit that happens in the fight. So a lot of this will be very new to me. So I'm excited to learn.
Shit ton of history. I have a shit ton of history with Ant-Man specifically. And
no one has history with Adam. I'm like the biggest Adam fan that I know, and I barely have history with Adam.
I play him in Injustice 2, and that's not even Ray Palmer.
That's like the Adam that nobody cares. Well, okay, it's not
Ryan
Pratt,
Choi.
It's the actually no. People probably care more about Pratt than Ryan Choi, because at least Pratt's got a different thing going on. He's not just literally
Hank
the same
loses.
guy, same suit.
If Hank loses, Nem is going to post a picture I sent of Gizmo dying
Is that
on the floor.
like the Golden or Silver Age Adam, where just didn't shrink and he had a completely different power?
He was called the Adam because he was like a slightly short guy who was really strong. That's it. That's why he was called the Atom.
It's like Puck from Marvel.
He was just Puck.
Yeah.
Just Puck.
He's the fucking lamest character ever.
He's Canadian, eh? He's like a little hockey puck, eh?
He's probably better.
Name one cool member of Alpha Flight.
Sasquatch.
Oh.
Yeah, that was easy, actually. I mean, but we are talking to the Sasquatch right now, so he could verify.
Shut the fuck up! I'm not a Sasquatch.
All right, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah, he's right. He's a ghost.
I think all of us are going for Hank, right? Right. Sure. Okay.
Ant-Man, Marvel's
Scott
founding member
Lang.
of the Avengers.
He's the founding member. Like, he's the only one. No one else founded the Avengers. It was just Hank.
I'm pretty sure him and Janet were like the ones who had the idea of the Avengers in the comic,
It was
Wasp.
He was the one who came up with the name.
JK Wiz.
He's fighting a snake.
Did you know that ants
Come, my brethren.
That is vile looking.
That'd be like if you lifted a car straight over
Only some ants can lift that much.
Hey, Futurama, baby.
That you can tell that footage is flipped.
Because
I'm pretty sure we don't need as-ips.
Was considered a genius at a very early age.
Or it could
I
be
could go
flipped.
for some as-ip right now.
Smarter than both his parents combined.
Look how smart he is. He painted himself blue.
He ate
Wrestling. If he goes Yellow Jacket ever in the fight, one, I will die of hype. Two, Adam is fucked.
That'd be very confusing. Pretty sure the
Yeah,
wasp,
but it'd be
like,
really cool.
Hank's wasp suit is more important because he's got the blasters. And like,
No, but I
Wasp,
just
like,
really like Yellow Jacket.
Like Janet Wasp was able to like burn half a century's face off. So
Oh, screw it.
I think that's smaller than an ant, actually.
He's consistently able
Ants
to ride an
Hathaway?
ant. They're usually bigger than he is.
Yeah. That'd be like if you had like an ant that could grow to the size of a person and you called him Horseman because it rode on a horse.
Based.
I want to see an ant riding a horse now, actually. That'd be awesome.
Did you know that ants can talk to each other in a bunch of different ways?
Yes.
Through touch, sound, or even sharing information by barfing at each other.
I mean,
What?
it's not. Yeah, thank you.
Barfing per se. It's more like passing food mouth to mouth.
Oh, so it's like puking in someone's mouth. Good.
No, it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
So Ant-Man went around spitting food into people's mouths.
Yeah. People always bring up him slapping his
Disgusting.
wife. I think that's not as bad as walking up to her and just barfing in
I love
her
that
mouth.
across all canons, Hank, and I love that this is a consistent thing with Ant-Man, is that they name their ant friends different ant puns.
Yeah, what about Anthony?
Richard's the smartest guy on the planet.
Take that, Reed.
Is there a Donovan?
Hope so. If there's
There
not,
better
hi.
be.
Particles, named after himself. Classic
He
Hank.
should have called them
And the
part
Pym
pimmicles.
particle is the key to unlocking the fundamental constants of the
Yeah, that
quantum
makes
mechanics at
That was
play.
the
really
most
funny.
sense.
Please
They
laugh.
enable you to decrease the distance between
I'm laughing on the inside.
However, in order to do that, he'd have to change the Bohr radius, the ratio
Bohr.
of electron mass to the distance the electrons orbit an atom's nucleus.
Oh, it's a game he's not playable in.
Oh, they've already shown
But
a
his
bunch
wife
of,
is.
They've already shown a bunch of MCU footage, so like, if you want to talk about things that he's not really in.
Sure, Boomstick. So
Just show Earth's Mightiest Heroes where it's Hank. That's not even Hank in UA3.
Oh, it's like having a second bagel to put the rest of your pizza on. I get it.
Oh.
If that were true,
Hey.
he shouldn't be able to punch
There
with
you go.
full-size strength if he has less mass.
And he's definitely lighter, because otherwise he'd crush the sweet antsy rides like Vincent
Or the
Van
ants
Gogh
just
here.
really-
His mass is being replaced with massless neutrinos.
Vincent
but that
Van
doesn't
Gogh.
adequately
Where you could have
explain
said
how he can have
Vincent
less mass
Van
and seemingly
Gogh.
more mass at the same time.
Sure it does.
What
man.
the hell?
Trust him and his particles. Look at the guy. He's explaining the whole thing while wearing a lab coat. What's more trustworthy than that? You're the exception.
You think you understand this?
Oh, of course. He's small but
Oh
strong.
god, an SNL skit.
About a boar, so I guess you wanted ham on that pizza, but I already made the pizza.
Will you take that coat off?
No.
Put his glasses on upside down,
Regardless,
too.
there's
That was
virtually
the
no
funniest
limit to
part
Hank's
of it,
ability
yeah.
to shrink. He can go beyond subatomic down to
I like the pizza in his
underspace, a plane of
pockets.
existence below all realities
Now I
in the
want
Marvel
pizza.
universe.
It's like
And
10
Hank has literally
p.m.
changed his biology. He's rewritten his own chemical makeup
Thunderclap.
to prevent anyone else from changing his size.
Oh.
And
Like
he's
one of them
changed
super
particles
breath,
so
as if
much,
that
he's
isn't
now
just
got an
like he
energy
grows
field
big
around
and
him
now
that
his
lets
breath is
him
just
change
more.
Breathing really hard.
through touch or by straight up firing Pym particles in the air.
He's never shy about using them either. He eventually supplied his wife, Janet Van Dyne, with some Pym tech to become the Wasp, his partner in crime fighting.
The two ended up rubbing shoulders with A-listers like Thor, Iron Man, and the Hulk.
Yeah, like you showed images that involve all
Ant-Man
of
and the
them
Wasp were
for
actually
each
the
one.
ones that captured him and
Is Hulk
fixed
wearing
him to
trunks
form
right
the
there?
Avengers.
Unfortunately, Hank's insecurities started to creep back in, and he
It
felt
looked
that
like
if he
he
wanted to
was. That
keep
was
up with the
weird.
big heroes, he was going to have
Oh,
to
this is the
think
sad
bigger.
part.
This is the
Enter
part
a
where he
bunch of
goes
those
fucking
pin-powered alter
psychopathic.
egos like
He goes
Yellow Jacket
actually
and
insane.
Giant Man, where he can grow anywhere from 12 feet tall to so big he can enter the overspace, the polar opposite of the underspace.
There he met Eternity,
Hi.
Earth Scientist Supreme. Something he won't let you forget.
Is
Hank
this
pushed him
God.
so
is this
he's
where I bring
insane
up that we
Hanks
don't
even
actually
though
know
he
if that
knew
was
the strain
Eternity
on
or
his
if that
body
was
could be
because
fatal.
Loki
But
showed
he
up
simply
later and
didn't
claimed that
care
he
and
actually
kept
made that as
pushing
like an
himself.
illusion to trick
Thus,
Hank,
his greatest
and
and
Hank
worst
doesn't believe him,
creation
but they've
was
never
Ultron.
confirmed if that's true or not.
Yep, all the Tin
Oh,
Man Tron
here
was
comes
created
Ultron.
by Hank,
Hello.
not Tony like the movie.
That's that.
But the
You
Thank
don't
you
have to
for
bring- You don't
clarifying.
have to bring that
Turned out
up,
pretty much the
you
same.
fucking
Big swing and a miss
moron.
there.
The fallout from
I don't know
Ultron
why I
left
made that
Hank
sound
in a
so
bad
personal.
place, to say the
I don't
least.
either.
His guilt made him
Sounds
feel
like he
an
just
utter
punched you or
failure, and that his
something,
best
man.
work was
Oh,
behind
I'm
him.
not
Wait.
married to him.
This led
Oh,
Hank to do
wait.
unspeakable
Here it
things.
comes. Smack.
Real low-life move.
Is yeah.
Mental
I
health
just
doesn't
imagine a
excuse
fucking-
Domestic
Like,
abuse.
uh,
Yeah.
it.
I imagine like a
He suffered
Kenshiro.
multiple
What?
disabilities
Right
and
as he
took the
hits her.
physical toll of the Pym particles.
literally is
And
the
had
whack
bipolar
noise.
disorder that went undiagnosed for years.
So Hank finally did the best thing he could. He acknowledged his
I
problems,
wish they
got
played
the
the
help
slap
he
a
needed,
second
and
time
committed
after
to
they said
self-improvement.
that.
And with that help, Hank slowly started making things right.
Oh,
He
but
rebuilt
Hank
the
made
West
himself
Coast
better.
Avengers
That's a
and
good
stopped
boy.
laying his blessing to become
As
the
good as
second
the Great
Vader,
Lakes Avengers,
and
but
finally
Hey, look, they
jumped
showed
beat
interview
Ultron.
footage that
He
actually
created a backdoor
pertained to
Trojan
what they were talking
infiltration code
about.
to defeat Ultron
Yeah,
in
Hank was
so many
actually in
ways,
it.
went on to
Yeah, and it was
replicate and
about
evolve
Scott
all
what they
on
were
its
talking
own to
about,
create a
so
new
they showed
species
Scott.
made up of artificial intelligence.
They don't call him the god of modern AI for nothing. Hank has showed over and over again that he's an integral part of the Marvel Universe.
Not just by ways of his scientific contributions or victories in battle, but
Jesus.
by proving that heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
So
I mean,
got
he's
nothing.
still man-shaped. He's not a
Yes.
different shape.
I got
Was born
nothing
your average
out of that.
human-sized person.
Like,
He grew up in the
stat-wise.
Northeast, studied physics at Ivy
Yeah, they didn't
University,
give
and
any
everything
calcs or
my
anything,
dad
did they? They
loved.
just
I
kind
didn't-
of
admittedly, I didn't
mentioned
expect
stuff
it.
he did.
Everything was pretty
'Cause
typical for
It was
Raven.
mostly
One
tech
fateful
and
Look at that
learning
walk!
that he can, like, become, like,
frustrating experiment
The
and
walk
saw
is kinda
a
funny.
meteor fall from the sky.
He
Like, the
ran
editing
off
is
to
really good, but
It's
that
just
was
like size, like how big and small he could get.
Yeah.
And immediately started messing
Which,
around with
for a
it.
lot of people, is the crux of the
I
fight,
mean,
isn't
they
it?
didn't bring up
He could
Toolbot,
focus
I don't think.
ultraviolet rays through it and
No, they
shrink
didn't.
inanimate
They did not
objects.
bring up the toolbar. It may have been in a sidebar, but it definitely they didn't mention it
That's
like
actually,
verbally.
There's actually a lot of like win conditions he has that they didn't bring up.
Sounds like he found
Which
a
is
I
interesting.
noticed, and that kind of scares me.
case closed.
But then they could also do that
Ray
with
was determined
Raymond.
to figure out how to shrink objects
Okay,
without
well,
falling
let's
to them.
see.
But first, he went on a hike with his
Could have
major
also
foe.
missed it because we were
And
talking
as
over
a
it.
fellow scientist,
And
I
sort of
have to
shooting the
question
shit
his
here.
priorities.
But hey, it seems to work for him. I support it.
I mean,
Different
I
heights,
feel like we
different
would have
mics, am I
noticed.
right?
While in a cave, the ceiling suddenly collapsed, trapping everyone inside.
God, I hate when that
No.
After
happens.
searching high and low for another exit,
In the
Ray
Cooler
found a
movie.
small opening and had an idea.
I like
He
that.
could
That's
try to shrink
cool.
himself down and get help, even if it meant he might explode before he got the chance.
But he didn't explode.
Damn
This
it.
story has a happy ending at least.
Look at the
Perplexed,
size
Ray
of that
determined there
fucker.
must have been something
I was
special
gonna
about
say,
him that
look
made
at his
him
his
unique.
Norman
His
Osborn
face,
hairline.
something super scientific
Look at that
about him.
face!
Look at
We
that
never get any
face!
more information on him.
Looks like he looks evil.
Yeah.
Even with the suit on, he looks evil. See?
He was pissed off.
Adam uses the white dwarf fragment to decrease his size while having control over his
Phasing. They
density,
brought phasing
which
up.
makes a lot of sense considering that white dwarfs have the mass
Uh-oh.
of a star, like the sun. But their volume is
What the
more like
fuck
the
do you
Earth's,
mean it
making
makes a
them
lot
among
of
the
sense that
densest
just because
objects in
something
space?
happens to be as dense as Boomstick, that you can shrink with it?
That's one strong spoon.
When Adam shrinks and shifts his weight, he's actually sending his extra
I
mass
heard
to a
that as
dimension
shits his
called the
weight.
mass zone.
Fucking comically dense spoon instead of comically large spoon.
Oh, boy. Hey, Deadshot, or Dead Dadgummit.
Oh, of course.
Guys can potentially cheat death, but would be stuck there without any outside help.
Okay, so
Awesome.
Scientists
that won't
together,
work.
what's most impressive
That won't work.
is Ray's creation
Can't
of
use
the
it. Thank God.
biobelts. That's what allows Adam to use the power of the white dwarf
Magic
to
satchel.
I
maintaining
don't remember them
any
bringing
weight
anything up
from
that could
immaterial
fuck with
to
the
his full
biobelt, which is like one of the big
180
win conditions that
There's
Hank
even been
has.
times
and
where
he
it's stated that
has
he was able
technology.
to
I mean,
do
couldn't he,
almost as
like-
dense as a white dwarf star itself.
I remember there was a time where he was able to like disrupt a bunch of technology made by Reed with ants. You think he could do that, maybe?
If they mentioned that, then yeah.
I don't know if they mentioned it, but definitely they could be saving it for the conclusion. You never know.
I like how many characters have like a cock belt that just holds things.
Okay.
That one has his phone in it. That
So
guy had a
since neither of them
grenade.
can have their size altered by each other, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I think-
they probably could, but they just undo it.
Well, I know Hank's is like a step further because
Hold
his
on,
is
did they
literally
mention the
like
Dr.
a field
Manhattan-
around
I
him.
think they just mentioned the Dr. Manhattan feat in the corner.
Oh hell no!
No, like that just means
They
they
meant-
that just makes their shrinking equal.
Mentioned so far in both analyses that they have countermeasures against being shrunk or like size changed by someone else.
Yep. Oh, he's holding balls.
They look like a
Oh,
butt.
Ray can take individual molecules and rapidly expand
So
them
he
to
can just
create
cause a
small
nuke.
nuclear blasts
Good to
in the
know.
palm of his
Yeah.
hand.
shit.
Look at that shit-eating grin. He's like proud of himself.
I just got that.
Oh, palm of the hand.
By rearranging its atoms. At that size, he can move at the velocity of light. So fast and so randomly, he basically acted as a barrier between any and all possible atom combinations.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
that.
come the hell
There's
on!
no scientific explanation here for him to have superhuman senses or awareness to comprehend being
They're
everywhere
kind of
at the
hyping
same
him up, so I
time.
kind of imagine
That
he's gonna
makes total
lose.
sense. If you're small enough, you can fit in almost everything, everywhere, all at once.
Wrong, Adam.
Like how you can fit in
That's
a
Zeke and Luther?
Yeah, it is Zeke and Luther. What the fuck?
What the hell?
Man, I get it. Science is pizza.
He's right.
No! Science is all I have! Why are you doing this to me?
On top of all of Ray's amazing inventions and
Why
abilities,
why is pizza the bit they chose for this episode?
The redneck's smarter than you now, boy.
Oh shit, the Atom Sword.
That was when
Oh, the
Ray was
Adams-
believed to be dead,
Oh.
but was actually just stuck at 6 inches tall and stranded in the Amazon rainforest, where he encountered
Remember
an alien race
this.
known as the
Hey,
I remember hearing
baby.
about
Get
this.
He ended up leading a rebellion against their tyrant king and became the
The
ruler
adhesion
of all
beam.
the Kardashians.
And his heroism didn't stop there. The Atom was a very well-respected hero, and was even asked to join the Justice League of America shortly after it was formed.
He fought alongside Batman and his best bud, Hawkman. And you don't
Both
fight
of
with
which
those guys without
are
picking up a
significantly
thing or
less
two.
impressive than him.
Impressive combat skills aside, Atom's greatest contribution to the legendary team was always his incredible mind.
He once created kryptonite inside of Superman by realizing that if he gathered
I
up
think,
enough
wasn't this
kryptonite
in
and
Injustice,
protons, they would
or was it
eventually
something
become
else?
radioactive.
While stranded in limbo,
I feel like I remember that being in Injustice specifically. Hey, Wildcat.
To exhaust its core, they could turn a fire demon into a black hole and use it as a wormhole to get back to Earth.
He's a brilliant, hard-working...
Fuck off.
Yeah, that makes
You know
sense.
how that
working
works.
on a problem
That's just
until
how
he's
that
found
works,
a
you know.
solution. I mean, if I figured out how to blow stuff up as
Hey,
well as he
Spectre.
did, I would have
I
stopped
read
right
I
there.
read
I'm
blowing
the
of
hero
the
that
Spectre, and I
blows
just didn't
stuff
want to
up.
address that.
Wouldn't even need to change my name.
Going from research scientist
Oh yeah,
to
I think he can
legendary
just
superhero.
grow his
He
suit
picked
out
up
of
the
his
pieces
body, and
presented
that's
to him
really
and built
gross.
Something greater than the sum of its parts.
Who knew this tiny titan with massive brains would have just...
There it is, it's the clip, yeah!
He's running so fast. Hey, Superhero
heroes,
Squad.
Let's go!
This is based.
Alright, I still I do not know who's gonna win. There's a lot of stuff that was not.
I
brought up.
am. I
I'm
think
still gonna
Hank
side
has.
with Hank.
Hank has like a.
I really
He has
hope
like
that
one
they-
more level of defense, but
I
from
really-
the shrinking. So I think he's got this.
I really want them to reveal that this lab right now was actually in microspace the whole time.
Pym particles.
Yeah.
And I'm Hank Pym, scientist supreme.
Kick his ass.
Why are they fighting? Is this because Hank's an
Oh,
asshole?
they're small. Yep. Why else?
Also, Ray just kind of let himself in. I'd be a little pissed. Ah!
Oh shit, the
Fuck.
giant drinking bird.
I really thought the battle was about to end there.
We need a shot
Like this, I like them
the-
playing with desk toys.
I love the other Newton's cradle.
That's cute.
Everything we needed already existed.
So he already knows he's using a white dwarf star. Not surprised.
Pieces together. Scientist supreme.
Hey.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I wanted.
Yep. Oh god.
Did you know
Look, a little Street Fighter car.
there are about
It's always that
2.5
car in
million
Marvel in
ants
Cape Shit
under
episodes.
your
That was in
feet?
Batman, Iron Man, and Batman,
That
Spider-Man
makes
too, and I
sense,
think a few
but
others.
Why are you bringing that up right now?
Ants.
Yeah.
He's really bugging me.
Rattle 'em, boys.
Yeah, the Atom Sword, yeah.
No,
the
kill
Atom
'em,
Sword.
ants. Eat 'em. Oh.
Like, yeah,
Long enough?
what do you think would happen?
Yeah, that ain't.
Let's try this.
Oh.
But
Okay,
What,
shrunk.
that was warranted
also
going into the
shrunk.
microverse.
Let me know what you find.
Yas, queen.
Let's try.
So he did put ants on the belt.
oh fuck.
That comes up later.
If I search every electron path in his gun and study their probability wave functions, I just might
Leave
be
my gun
able
alone.
to.
Son of a bitch.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. They both have a microverse. You don't really need to explain which one, so that's good.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, Hank's, I feel like this is leading to a Hank win.
What's happening? He must be reaching his limit. If we don't get out of here quick, he's gonna destroy all of reality. Now, my
Oh.
pets! You have your tricks and your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
Oh, it's over space. Hi.
How?
You can't be afraid to think big.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yep.
fuck.
Told you.
But guess what, Ned?
Gnarly.
Ants were the kill. Don't underestimate the ants.
That's where the kill.
He just like put them in his body and then they grew. Oh God.
Though there was one small thing Adam couldn't answer to.
Like
Ants.
it was
Hank's
in the middle of the
falling defense
microverse
led
that I
to
was like,
some
yeah,
small
okay,
advantages
Hank's
and
got
Ray
this.
just
This is
didn't
definitely
have
leading
enough
to a Hank win.
anti-ant tools in his bio build.
Just
But
felt
in
like it
Adam's
would.
defense, the fact that he could punch with a fist packed with all of his mass meant that a close-up fight, while small, would leave Hank with few options since he can only punch with his normal human strength.
Even still, all Ant-Man would need to do is keep his dissed ants with the help of his insect confidence and devise another plan of ant tech. Something Hank has no shortage of.
For instance, Ant-Man could alter Adam's size thanks to the Pym particle field he generates. Hank would just need to stall long enough to remove or disable Adam's biobelt, and he's had no trouble hacking enemy tech in the past.
But even with the bio belt busted, it wouldn't stop Adam's ability to shrink since the white dwarf power is contained throughout his suit. Destroying the belt only meant that Ant-Man could alter Adam's size.
Whereas Hank has literally rewritten his own biology to prevent outside size alteration. And while Adam's abilities are definitely impressive, they are limited, and Ant-Man simply aren't, at least by comparison. Hank could always match Ray's size or just take the fight to the overspace where he would have the edge, both physically and mentally.
The overspace can mess with the human mind, but we've seen that Hank can handle it.
But if the Scientist Supreme is really so smart, why didn't he just immediately go up Adam's butt and blow him up from the inside?
I will fucking
What's
kill
wrong
you.
with you, Wiz? Aren't you a fellow man of science?
Like the pizza that he has in his lab coat pocket.
Done to me.
Adam sized up Ant-Man, but in the end, he was
for
the
calling
one
him
who had to say, Uncle.
The winner is
Oh, I get it.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We have a new Death Battle releasing
Alright,
every
let's see
2
what it
weeks
is.
this year. And click the join button to get new perks and extra content.
That episode was
Planet
fine,
level
yeah.
members even see Death Battles
Dun,
before
dun.
anyone else, so don't miss out.
Okay.
Oh. I'll be real, y'all. I thought it was something else. I'd just say I am as surprised as you all are.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm sure it'll be
Oh.
good.
I like the
Well,
music.
you remember how
The music
remember
made
how
me
I said
happy.
Cody like spoiled it for me? I never saw him what he was looking at. I heard the music and I immediately assumed it was Azura. And that's why he was
Really?
like, "No!"
Really? You thought that was Azura?
That's his theme. That's the theme I associate with
That's
him.
just a classical song. I mean, I associate it with
I know it's a
um,
classical theme, but
Wizard's
it's pretty
Last-
prominent in
associated with
Azura's Wrath.
Wizard's Last Rhyme from Rhapsody of Fire. That's what I associate it with. But it is like its own thing.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. Even Gunther in WWE uses it as a theme. Hell, I use it as Queen's main theme. I know it's a
I'm trying to
composition.
remember its name. It's like symphony, like it's like a Dvorak. one of
Symphony
Dvorak's
number
symphonies.
7.
Yeah.
I think they might use it in One Piece too. That might be the song that Luffy beats Crocodile to.
Yeah.
It is Symphony
And
number
Anthony-
9
Anthony
for
Dvorak's
Vorak.
Symphony number 9. That's what it was.
There we go.
I guess
The
I'm
song's everywhere.
I'm not
but
really
it's also because it's
surprised
good.
by the next time. I'm going to be honest. I'm not shocked because like we already knew that was coming. In fact, I know a lot of people, including myself, who thought that was going to be episode 2 and that episode 3 would be the first one that we didn't know in advance, right?
Yeah, that means like so far they're going in order on that cipher wheel thing.
I guess. I want to point out that they did call the episode Dark Souls versus Skyrim,
I blame casuals.
which not only is that not their names, that's also not the name of the series. That
Solaire.
it should be Dark Souls versus Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
But
Didn't
that's
even think of
being
that.
anal. That's being anal about it.
But not wrong.
Dark Souls versus Skyrim as a name would definitely get more views than just Chosen Undead versus Last Dragonborn or Dovahkiin. So, yeah. That's my English skills.
Is indeed in One Piece. I believe. Yeah, it's the song that Luffy punches Crocodile through a city block to. fighting underneath the ground, and he punches him up out of the ground, and it knocks like 7 buildings over.
Yep. I'm gonna be honest, is it wrong that I kind of wish the kill was a bit more gory in this?
I kind of wish it was drawn out slightly more, but I liked what we got.
The ant
Still
coming
a
out of his
really
mouth
cool kill.
and coming out of his back. I love that the atomic thing is left with like ants crawling around it. I just kind of wish we got to see like the boom as more than just a regular explosion.
You wanted a chest burster.
I mean, we got a mouth burst, so that's good enough for me. I'm gonna go back to the
It was
fight.
pretty good.
As we tend to
Okay.
do, we tend to redo the fights. Rewatch the fights.
Yeah, unless the fight was boring as hell.
Yeah, we do.
Because I'm pretty sure. Wasn't there a time where we watched like Sauron and Lich King instead?
Yeah, that was for Gogito. We just went back.
I do not blame us for 1 second.
Actually, no, not Gogito. Deku Asta. Gogito, we end up losing the recon. I'm going back to the start because I want to actually
Oh
know
yeah.
why they started this fight. Hold on.
Adam's down here messing with his Newton's cradle.
Pick on someone your own size, relatively speaking.
How did you do this? It's laced with a particle I've never seen before.
They're called PIM particles.
He was literally just barging in.
PIM, Scientist Supreme. You should have knocked.
It's just because he came in. But, like, he literally is like, how'd you do this? This is amazing, man. And he's like, fuck you! It really is
I'd be a little
He
upset
still
if
did
someone
break
snuck
into
into my
his lab,
frickin'.
like-
Yeah, I'd be a little pissed. Newton's cradle.
Like, is that really worth killing someone over?
You're using pieces
Like when
of a
they're a
white
hero?
dwarf star? That's cute.
Everything we needed already existed. You just needed to be smart enough to put the pieces together.
Also needed to be lucky enough to find a white dwarf star.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Funny.
I like that. That's good.
Hank, why do you have a toy car on the floor?
Did you know that at any
That's
given
the
moment,
car
there
from
are
the start
about
of the
2.5
episode.
million ants under your feet?
I mean, that makes sense.
What?
Why
That's
are
the
you
car
bringing
that
up
Raymond
right
was
now?
Oh. Is that how he got here? He drove the car.
He just drove it and then like it just shrugged when he got into the lab and he was
A
like,
good visual.
Yeah.
Took you long enough. Okay, let's try this.
Uh-oh.
I'll hack his belt. You lay low and let me know what you find.
Yas, queen. You throw away the ant man, but not the ant.
One grunt kind of sounds like Goku.
He leaves one ant on there and then there's like a million next time.
Am I the only one who thinks the voice actor
Gone and study their probability wave function.
Adam, for some reason, sounds like Bruce Campbell? I don't know why. Maybe it's just that first line, or the one where he's talking about the ants earlier, but he sounds like Bruce Campbell. Like, if they use Ash Williams, get this guy back.
Punching looks a little bit silly.
What's happening? He must be reaching his limit. If we don't get out of here quick, he's gonna destroy all of reality. Now, my pets! You have your tricks and your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
No, he doesn't really seem to be having
Oh,
that big of an issue comprehending it.
Welcome to the void.
How?
You can't
Yeah,
be
he's more
afraid
questioning
to
how they
think
got here,
big.
not what's going on.
Oh, we did get a chest burster.
I just wish the explosion was less generic. Boom.
Ah. That's gnarly looking, though.
Yeah, no,
Christ.
like the hand-drawn bit's great, it's just the actual explosion's a bit.
It's a little kind of... I wish there was more blood.
Yeah. I am a bloodthirsty.
I like that attorney, and he's just sitting there like, that's cool, bro.
Attorney's there like, what the fuck is going on here?
Hank, what the hell did you just start?
I think it would be funnier if we went with Loki's explanation that he made the illusion, so Attorney doesn't even know who Hank is. He's just like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Who are you guys?
Who the hell?
What are you doing here?
What's going on here?
Immediately after this, like Hank tries to go back, and Turner is like, no, come back here.
Oh, you're gonna explain to me in 20 words or less exactly what happened. Little man, break in, me, fight, kill him.
He shows up and he shows back up and he's like, "You're the one that dubbed me Scientist Supreme." And Eternity's like, "Why the fuck would I care about a scientist? I'm Eternity."
When did I do what?
What the fuck are you talking about? I made you Scientist Supreme. Reed Richards is smarter.
Guys, Marvel now has more wins than DC. This is such a joyous occasion, obviously.
Yeah, it takes me back to when that was the case in like season 2 and everyone was complaining about the Marvel win streak.
I like DC better anyway.
I do like
Except
DC,
this one time, I liked Marvel better.
in terms
I'm
of
reading DC stories more, but I like Marvel's roster of characters better.
I think, well, one thing that really helps me with DC is I know who my favorites are. Marvel, I have so much trouble defining who my favorites are. Like, I have my top 3 heroes, but I only have like one favorite villain.
Well, because I think DC is better at like keeping its characters generally defined as like what that character's supposed to be like. Favorite Marvel character can go from like a pretty cool guy and like a really sympathetic character to just like the biggest shithead on the planet in like the span of a single run.
Why is Death Battle
Yeah, that
going
makes
like
no
this?
sense.
It's like season 9, season 10, season 8. I was really confused.
Because fuck you.
In the video, like the timeline they had, it went from Ant-Man Adam to Harley Jinx to Saitama Popeye. Like
Yeah,
season
like
9 just
Marvel's just really inconsistent in like every regard, especially with certain characters. I would know that very well.
Oh, okay. I just clicked to send us to season 10. This is season 10's lineup, guys.
Leak.
Oh shit!
it's
They're doing Magneto Tetsuo again?
Yeah, they're gonna
Oh, cool. They're doing Jason and Michael, but good this time.
Oh, they're gonna redo Gogito. Oh, I'm so happy. I can't wait for Biff to
I'm so not bored out of my mind.
Biff's gonna be so happy. We're gonna get a promo soon. Because
Can we at least get? At least we're getting Fallen Gods Part 2.
Yeah.
You messing with the greatest mutant alive. Opportunes arise have been the boss since the ancient times.
Gogito versus Vegeta may be like pretty bad, but like just wait till we get Archie Sonic versus Scourge.
It took me a moment to process that as a Transformers fan, and then I was like, "Oh, that's what you mean."
Oh. Then we need to do a cover of Fallen Gods.
How the fuck do you expect me to do that?
I don't know. You
Wait,
play
what
one,
do
if
you
I
turn
play the
Fallen
other.
Gods into?
No, I'm not saying we turn it into anything. We just do a cover of it. You do one end, I do the other end.
Why would I do one end? I can't do an end.
Nut up or shut up.
Okay,
Shut
I'll
up,
nut up.
I'm gonna choose shut up if that's the.
Can I do the other half? Is this offer up for me?
You know what? Sure, I don't care who does it. I think it'd be funny though.
Now I can check my notifications because I bet there's like several people saying, "Guess what? You predicted it correctly."
Hey, guess what? Spoiler alert!
You come here to see who might won the death battle. I come here to see what stupid shit they randomly got sidetracked on. Yeah, that's
Spoiler alert! You're about to get traded.
You're about to get oil alert. Iraq.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. That's just such a nothing thing to add to it. Like an Oiler alert, Iraq.
And like that is the
There's
funniest
no
thing I've ever
punchline.
seen.
There's no further reference to it. You just
It's like full stop. That's it. That was the whole bit.
Thank you, George Bush.
Someone in the Patreon only Discord, which if you want to go to, Patreon link in the description, said we might finally get Death Battle Outerversal. No, we literally just got Ant-Man versus Adam, and we did not get Outerversal. What makes you think
They literally went to overspace, y'all.
Yeah, but they didn't say it.
this point to me, and I've made this like argument to people before, Outerversal's a stupid fucking made up term that versus debaters use so they can get their favorite cartoon character stronger than everyone else.
It's also just objectively less cool than the original Omniversal that everyone used. Outerversal is not.
That is a way cooler name. Oh man.
People are like,
Outerversal
"Oh my
means like
god,
I
this
can go
cartoon
outside.
character came out of the cartoon and did something in the real world. They're outerversal." It's like, no, that's just
It's funny because like on places like Versus Wiki, they have like a definition for outerversal, but everyone's like, we're just gonna ignore that for our own gain.
what the fuck is the actual definition for outerversal?
Basically,
What does that mean?
Outerversal is meant to be if you're in a franchise where dimensional tiering is an established thing, and you are beyond the concept of dimensions, you're outerversal. So, if dimensional tiering exists, so let's say you're fourth dimensional, you're infinitely more powerful than the strongest third dimensional thing, even if you're the weakest fourth dimensional thing, like how it works in Marvel DC. The definition of outerversal is meant to be if dimensions just don't apply to you, like you're beyond infinite, then you're outerversal. But most people just sort of take
Trevor.
it as like, I can do something vaguely related to the fourth wall, outerversal.
Deadpool, we're coming for you.
Pretty sure there's arguments for
Like by that logic, in one run, because it's like technically not 616 Deadpool, but a version of Deadpool does come out and murder his own creators. But then that Deadpool fights 616 Deadpool, so it should scale anyway.
Yeah,
that's
Dreadpool.
Dreadpool.
Dreadpool, yeah. I think Dreadpool.
The one who
has,
kills
like,
the Marvel Universe.
I would be surprised if the explanation is that Dreadpool has like some like
Like the whole
in that run, 616 Deadpool is outright a better reality warper than he is.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some narrative power that Dreadpool has, and Deadpool just completely negates it, and that was the explanation.
I think Dreadpool also beats up Gwenpool at some point. Just adding to that.
There's a point where Dreadpool's like, "Oh, and I guess this serum heals my suit as well." And he's like, "Does it, or did I just do that between comic panels? Come on, dude, I'm the Deadpool."
The Deadpool, that's me.
I'm the Deadpool.
I'm the Deadpool of all time.
You know, I just realized I had a comic where my character Trevor came out of the comic book. Does that mean he's outerversal?
No.
I thought you were gonna say he came out as gay, and I was gonna say good for him.
I mean, you never know. I already have a character who's a friggin' bisexual icon,
Okay,
so you never know.
I've just sort of noticed that I do not remember a single thing that happened in that fight. Aside from the kill,
Cradle.
And the funny, like, yeah, the bit where they show it from real perspective, what's happening.
They're fucking like throwing desk toys at each other. Ant-Man
like
tries to hack his belt, and it doesn't work. The car, they shrink it down.
He tries to shrink him, doesn't he? Like throws
particles. Oh, he tries to shrink He tries to hack his belt and get the ant to go do something, and then Adam throws him off his belt before he can hack it. And then later
the ants remain.
Like it was a good fight.
Ray fucking kills a bunch of ants with a sword.
There were more throwing hands than I expected.
He kills like 2 ants with a sword, and then they knock the sword out of his hand and swarm him.
And then he just steps on him. I do like that. Oh, that. Yeah, that fast solution, just to hell with this. He stepped in a lot of loser, because there was a lot of ants.
I like how Overspace, like, you can really see the difference between how Marvel and DC tackle, like, higher dimensional things by the fact that when we saw Overspace, it was accurate to the comic. It was just a white void and there was nothing else. Like, it's just the most boring possible design.
Nothing else. Eternity's standing right there.
Yeah, but like it's not a part of Overspace. He just happens to be there.
He's just like, hey, what's up?
If you were to walk into my house and say, "Wow,
just
there's nothing here,
there,
but I'm here," I guess you, Nem, you're part of the house now. You don't live
Nem,
here.
You're not.
You're
nothing.
in the wall.
Come on, you're not nothing. Come on.
Eternity is just a guy in Overspace. You know, like that could have been Living Tribunal. Living Tribunal lives in Overspace. Could have been
That'd be neat. He has like 3 faces.
Could have been fucking Lord, Lord Chaos, and it's just some head who's just like, what the fuck is this?
What if it's Havoc from Mortal Kombat?
Well, he would just be like, rah, rah.
How funny would it have been if they went into Overspace and then the Living Tribunal just looked down at Adam and goes, "Ew, what is that?" And smushes in between his hands.
Ew, a bug.
Ew, gross.
Like,
It just like takes his.
Hank comes up with like,
takes his thumb and like smushes him.
Like, I just imagine right after Hank comes in with his reply to what Adam said, but he's like, he just cuts off. He's like, "Wait, where'd he go?" Just takes out both of them.
Heavens, there's a bug in my home.
Good.
Another one.
Better
like-
get the
It's like
godly
when a cartoon
raid.
character will like, it's when a cartoon character takes something like their thumb and like smushes something and like twists their thumb to like smush it into the surface. He just does that against like the void.
Just imagine Living Tribunal, but each of his faces is one of us. He's just watching the fight.
That is a
making
mess.
Making the exact same comments we did.
That is a mess.
You got like one of those like, nah, I think Hank's gonna win, and then the head on the left side's like, what are you on about? This is clearly gonna be an Adam dub.
One of them
The
was like,
Adam
stop
sword.
talking over the fight so I can hear it.
I was like, I want to know why they fought. What is this?
Shut
One of them was
up.
like, stop talking, I want to hear it.
I would like to
up.
understand what's going on right now. Can you please be silent?
Fight.
I don't understand. Did the ants hack his bell?
Why did it say
Yes.
Yas Queen? How does an ant know how to speak?
Yeah, why
in
did the
English?
bell fall apart? How strong are these ants?
Why are the ants running around on the giant atomic particle? That doesn't make any sense.
God. So
Man,
one of you sounds like
what?
Marvin, and
Oh,
the other
he
one
turned
sounds like
him
that
into an
newt
atom.
from. One of you sound like that newt from Adventure
Why
Time who
did
stole the
Hank
boots.
change his helmet when he went into
There was
overspace?
supposed to be a kaboom! An earth-shattering kaboom!
Y'all doing Marvin the Martian
I like
voice
how
in
Hank
my
literally changes
presence.
into his
How
Hank changes
dare
into
you.
the Giant Man costume, literally just for the end, if you noticed.
Bro, but that's based. I'm glad that he got to wear it though. That's cool. He didn't go Yellow Jacket, but I'm glad that
Does
they
Yellow
went through the
Jacket just to
detail.
smack Ray?
Yeah, that
and
would've
then,
been funny.
Changes out of it.
He just like goes into
Ah.
these various outfits.
Goes
Why
into
the
his
hell
outfits just to
not?
make references to something he did. He turns into Yellow Jacket just to slap him. He turns into Giant Man just being like.
he just turns
Like,
into Yellow
no, I
Jacket and
imagine-
does the bitch slap.
I
I
smack you
imagine
like
he
a
turns
woman.
into Giant Man, and it's not even an attack. It's just that one Avengers cover where he's like dashing forward with his fist out. It's just that moving forward, and he gets hit by it.
Just that panel come to life.
They should have referenced
Jesus.
all the times that Hank has been on the tip of Hawkeye's arrow by having an ant wield a bow and arrow and shoot him. That's what they should have done.
I'm trying to think of an ant pun for Clinton
You
Barton.
have to imagine
but
at a certain size, once you like shrink small enough, the
it's
particles
not
you're shooting out
clever.
of an energy blaster wouldn't work anymore.
Clant
Wait,
Barton.
Can't Bishop. There you go.
Clant Barton.
He is kind of bland nowadays, isn't he?
Do you take the int in Clint and make it ant? Don't have a seizure now. It's okay. It was
Too
very
bad.
funny. You didn't have to have a
Where's the
seizure.
kaboom? It's supposed to
There's
be
the
an
kaboom! There was
earth-shattering
supposed to be an
kaboom.
earth-shattering kaboom!
I mean, there was one in this case. I mean, technically, it was big.
You know, on one of
It was in over.
Someone
My-
explain to me, why did the ants make an earth-shattering kaboom?
because they're big,
Why did he
they
eat-
got bigger.
Why did he eat ants for lunch?
Just completely.
Yeah, why did he eat the
Completely misunderstand how they got there. Why did he eat ants in his sandwich?
Ew.
I
Wait,
still-
you know what?
My favorite.
How do you think the ants got into his body without him noticing?
Up the butt.
Yes.
I do like to imagine that
Yes.
genuinely Hank just has a field around his lab that makes things shrink and he didn't realize. So Raymond's just driving his car down the street and just shrinks around him.
Is that tiny car?
And he's like, Hank, what the fuck, man?
I like the
It's still-
idea of just 3 Marvin the Martians watching a death battle.
He has enough outfits for that to work. He has a
Like,
lot
there's
of
just
them.
3 of him. They don't ever address why there's 3 of him, and then it's like the commentary they're making is not something exclusive. It is just Marvin the Martian talking about his general thoughts on the death battle episode.
Are we still going with this being the 3 heads of the Living Tribunal? There's just 3 Marvin the Martian heads. And that's
Oh,
the Living
God.
Tribunal.
Wait, it's just
His body as
3
well.
heads
It's
on the
just, like,
tribunal, but they've got the Martian helmet.
He's got a Martian helmet like that goes 3 ways on him.
instead of
Yeah.
that like 3-way hood.
Oh,
His
Christ.
body
That'd be hard
is still
to move your
Marvin's,
head.
but it's like as buff as the
Or-
Living Tribunals
Or
is.
is this like a King Ghidorah sort of deal? Like, it's just
Just so
green-
you know,
green
this
King-
isn't going to be like Buff Beerus. I'm not drawing this.
Someone else could draw Marvin
I'm not
Tribunal.
drawing this.
Someone draw Living Tribunal, but it's just 3 Marvin the Martian heads, and that's us. That's us now.
You can get me to
Battle is
draw a lot
clearly
of stuff
biased.
for
Why
free,
didn't the
but
DC
no.
character win?
Why didn't they calc it to outer vessel? What a ridiculous concept.
Where are all of the calculations? This is just hacks.
I still really like the idea of just.
But why did he eat all the ants? That makes no sense.
The assumption that he ate the ants, and that's how they got
I-
there.
I was a thinking
How
man
else
like
would they have
myself
come
meant
out
to
of his
interpret this
body?
if there's no numbers to compare. What debate is there to have if there's no math?
My maths.
I want to play Marvin and more things. Marvin's fun.
Why did he eat the ants? What?
When did he eat the ants is a
When
good
did he
question.
eat-
When did he eat them?
When did
When did he have time to eat so many ants? And why are they so big?
I
He
thought,
missed the
I
atom
thought
and
he-
ended up hitting a car
I
instead.
thought
Why was he
Raymond
going
ate
to
sea
grow the
creatures, not
atom?
ants.
I always like talking about the subtle differences between the two different Marvin voices, where you have the OG who sounds more villainous, then you have Eric Baz's who sounds more human. Very neat.
Are you
I like the idea of him just incorrectly interpreting everything that happens. Clearly missed the atom. Why was he trying to grow him?
Why did he just
Hit
have
the
a
car
car lying
instead.
around?
Yeah, why is there a tiny car?
Why did
Why are these ants so large? And he has a sword?
Why did Raymond put Hank on
Where'd
his
that
belt
come
just to throw him
from?
off again?
Christ.
Earthlings have no sense of.
Oh, I can't do it.
The-
Stop laughing, you
honestly, I
bitch.
think
Ew, I stepped in, loser.
Christ. Next, you're gonna have him be like, "You ever seen a supernova?" And then Marvin's like,
Several, actually.
Caused it
Several,
for
actually.
myself.
I've caused a few myself because of a rotten, dirty rabbit.
and I think a sheriff that one time. Yeah. I'm pretty sure him and Sam caused something like that. Definitely had a big fight that.
Boo voice, like Majin Buu.
Oh, yeah, you know, Don can do that. I'll stick to Marvin. You can have that one, buddy. I don't want it.
I like the idea of someone trying to use Toon Force against bugs, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I can do that too. In fact, it's kind of my thing."
It kind of is, you fuck.
That's what Mickey should say. Like, huh? It kind of is, you fuck.
It kind of is, you fuck.
I fucking figured that out when you sawed my head off and I just put it back on because there was no
Excuse
actual
me, what
wound.
are you, no, hold on.
No.
What exactly do you mean it's your thing? I predate you by like a decade. I came
No,
out 10 years before you did. Popeye came out before you did. Felix came out before you did. Oswald did. You're a ripoff, that's what you are. This is not
shut
your
the fuck
thing.
up.
I did it
Fucking
first.
Give
I
me
did
a
it first.
history
Now you shut the
lesson,
fuck
Mouse.
up.
Jesus
you shut the
Christ.
fuck up, you stupid bitch. Listen here, you buck-toothed idiot.
An asshole Mickey is.
Sometimes, part of me wants Daffy to be the one to say, "Of course you do, you fuck."
That's the whole point of the fight. That's just the response Mickey gives. Cause you can, you fuzzy fuck. That's the point
Listen
of the
here,
fight.
you fucking dolt.
I'm fed up, fuzzball fuck.
I'm fed up with this. Stop.
You know, you called Yoda a fuzzball, but he doesn't even have fur. He just has like,
got
he has
no
like
hair.
barely any hair on
He has
his
a
head.
fuzzy, disgusting little old man head.
He's got like a
that's-
little old man
that's
hand where if I
racist
pet it, I
to
got
all
like
people, I think.
so much lice on my fingers.
Being old is not an ethnicity.
I forgot ageist was a term, and I just like went with that.
You ageist bitch. You raggedy bitch. I miss Yoda.
Oh, he's not dead. I mean,
Yeah, he
is,
is.
but he's not dead. He's like half dead. He's only mostly dead.
He's like,
One with the Force.
And with the force I am.
Bend over, you will.
okay, that's just Scooby.
That's just Scooby.
That's just Scooby-Doo.
Like,
Bro,
zoinks,
I'm a
man.
ghost.
I didn't realize Yoda and Scooby were the same.
Zoink, zoink, Scoob! I didn't know you knew how to use the Force Ghost technique.
Oh,
He
like,
probably
I'm
would
gonna
if
put
they
you
did a
back
Star Wars
together, man.
crossover. You know for a fact if they did a Star Wars
Who's Shaggy?
crossover somehow,
I'm a Red-Eye.
they would both be able to use the Force.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaggy's a Jedi already.
Yeah, so that's
Is he?
Shaggy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shaggy.
Jedi
It's just
Master
Shaggy.
Shaggy
guys.
is a character. He's most
One who gets
notable.
absolutely
He's
That makes me think
obliterated by
of,
Grievous.
The original.
That makes me
Clone
think
Wars
of Shaggy the
series.
Reluctant Werewolf, where
No,
Dracula keeps mispronouncing his
basically,
name.
what
He's like,
happens is-
Shaggy!
In the original Clone Wars 2D series, he runs out to fight Grievous, and Grievous just like lands on him. And he's just gone.
He's just
There's nothing left.
gone. He's either
There's a
in the
movie
ground
where-
or crushed.
So,
There's one of
I don't
those.
know if either of you are familiar with The Reluctant Werewolf. The plot of this movie is that there is an
He's a freaking
annual,
vampire.
like, monsters race that is held. And the Wolfman couldn't show up because he had to, like, fucking do family shit or something. I don't know. And so Dracula is like, hey, we don't have a Wolfman for this. What do we do? And they're like, hey, what about this random, like, dude? And they pick Shaggy. And so they turn Shaggy into a werewolf, and he has to compete in a fucking race, race car race. And
He has a
Dracula
girlfriend
just
that he only
keeps
has,
saying
like,
his name is
once.
weird. He keeps going like, Shaggy, what kind of name is Shaggy?
Doesn't he? Shaggy also has like a girlfriend that he only has like in this one.
It's
time.
in a few movies. It's like the Red Shirt Shaggy saga, where it's like I think just a handful of movies where he has his girlfriend.
So,
And there's also the fact I'm pretty sure Dracula's wife keeps hitting on Shaggy and calling him cute.
so are
like
these the films where they put the
Shaggy's got
Shaggy?
game. Dude, Shaggy's got game.
you want to put it
Everybody
like
knows
that,
this.
sure.
I'm pretty sure there's a video on YouTube talking about all the time Shaggy
Yeah.
has like just so easily gotten women to like him because he's a Chad incarnate.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot.
All of my
Like,
Scooby,
I'll handle this
all-
one, Fred. My raise is immeasurable.
all my Scooby-Doo knowledge comes from one guy. It's because he's obsessed.
We know you're obsessed.
Is-
He's hot dog water.
I'm not obsessed. I'm a casual. I liked Mystery Incorporated though.
Do you know about hot dog water, Nem?
That sounds nasty.
No.
There's a character introduced late into Mystery Incorporated named Hot Dog Water. That's not a real name. That's just what they call her. And she
Ew.
like joins the Mystery Inc. for a while, and they hate her. But there's like a plot where it starts to devolve into like they go to the fucking depths of her lair or some shit and like meet Cthulhu. And these robots are trying to hunt them down. And so like Hot Dog Water gets left behind, and the last time we see her, like these robots are cornering her, and then it cuts away. We hear gunshots, and Scooby looks back and whines, and it's implied they just fucking shot her and killed her off screen.
That's
Thank God.
fucking brilliant. That's
With a name like Hot Dog Water, she probably deserved it.
Did her water break?
Water break.
Excuse me?
Because it's a name thing. Yeah, shut up.
Scooby-Doo's weird. Anyway,
How about that next time?
Yeah, I'm
I have never played. You know what's weird? I've played Skyrim a bunch. I've never played Dark Souls, yet I'm for the Dark Souls guy, and I know he gets obliterated.
Yeah, he dies.
I love
Super hard,
Skyrim.
yeah.
I love Skyrim. I'm very excited to see the Dragonborn covered on
Can't
the
wait
show.
for a
I'm
Fuso
interested to
Bob.
just see how they'll do it because the Dragonborn is such a loosely defined character. Because like obviously they're just going to like composite all of the different like spells, weapons, and like I imagine they're just going to like composite all of the skill tree perks.
Look. They did the Predator, and they just made up a Predator. I think.
No, okay,
They'll
so
They just merged them in a blender.
I want to stop you there and say that at least all of the Yautja are the same race. They are all Yautja, and it's not the difference between like Nords, cat people, orcs, and Argonians.
Yeah, but like some Yautja. I mean, you say that there are Predaliens. They are technically Yautja.
I mean, that's a species of xenomorph, not
they are also a
Yautja.
species of Yautja.
Oh.
They're both. They didn't put that in.
Fight,
Obviously.
fight.
Didn't put that in, but you've also got the you've got the fact that this character's gender is not set in stone. This character's race is not set in stone. I imagine they're going to go with a male Nord just because that's what's on like the game cover and the
box.
advertisements and stuff. But
We're having a concept on Death Battle at the moment.
I should also.
I think
How important are the differences in race between different Dragonborn? Like, how big an impact does that
They
have on versus?
It can provide different perks. Like Argonians can breathe indefinitely underwater. I think Nords have more resistance to frost damage. Orcs can enter a berserk state, which like heightens their physical attacks. Khajiit can see in the dark, and I think can uh, do thievery stuff better and have like better unarmed melee damage.
Orc master
There are
race.
types of races. I think it's the wood elf that are able to communicate with animals or something
Yeah.
like that. There's all kinds of different perks depending on your race, but it's nothing that would
None of this is going to
seriously
sway the.
affect the
I was
outcome
going
of
to say
the fight.
So this is
nothing's
where I
going to
should-
sway the decision here.
This is where I should bring up that there are some predators who have inbuilt weapons that probably would have swayed things a bit because their bare skin is tougher than their armor, and the fact that that Yautja aren't super armored was a big factor in Boba Fett winning. So
I think there's also like
Screw
there's a
you,
difference
Boba
of
Fett's cool.
don't remember. I think there is a level cap in Skyrim, and like what you get there like determines like how high like certain levels of certain. And I think you can max out your levels for stuff.
this is not
like
as bad
which-
as if they did Ace from Xenoverse, and because
Which
like the hero
weapons
from
and
Xenoverse 2.
So how
weapons and
much
which armors you
y'all-
equip. Because weapons don't really matter so much because you can max out like your two-handed, your one-handed, and like your archery and stuff, and just like max all those out as far as they'll go. Then you take into account armor. You can only wear one set of armor at a time, and those can have effects like which enchantments are they going to have? Are they going to have like reinforce like stamina? Are they going to have like against magic, muffling sounds? All of your different weapons can have different enchantments like flame damage, stealing souls, all that kind of stuff.
That's
Got
kind
it.
of that's kind of just like a thing with RPG characters that you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. And it's like there are some set stuff like there's Daedric artifacts and there are some like set weapons like named weapons around the map that will inherently have some enchantments on them, and I guess they could go that route if they want to show enchanted weapons. But like specifically which armor set I guess you're using depends on whether you have like into like being mage, put into using like light armor, regular armor, heavy armor, that kind of stuff. And then you've also got like I'm curious what arrangement of like spells and shouts they'll use, what arrangement of like weapons and like if they're going to use anything like blessings or active effects like that,
They'll
or
probably just give it everything.
because like everything means a lot in Skyrim. There is so much customizing.
Yeah.
I am going to be such an odd man out these next 2 weeks.
They did like everything with Cloud. Like he just had all materia, which is a lot, and they only used a couple in the fight, but.
Which, like, they're also the ones he's generally shown with them, like, the more common ones. But then you also got, like, which blessings you have. Are you a vampire? Are you a werewolf? If so, how high have you perked into those trees? Like, are they going to show them in the fight? Like, there's, like, different Daedric artifacts. Like, are they going, like, how many of those are they going to use? How much of, like, how much are you going to want to balance with, like, lore implied powers and, like, that kind of stuff, as opposed to, like...
But the fight is probably just going to be a generic Viking guy
Sword fight
with an axe, a shield, maybe a sword, who screams.
Yeah.
There's so much more you could do with it than that.
Can we
One
take a
interaction I'm
part?
hoping
Can there
to
be
see.
a part in the fight where they just go off and do a side quest and then come back to kill each other
I
again?
want to see the
Really funny.
the like death graphic from Dark Souls show up like at the start.
Yeah.
And then he just comes back again.
You
and
died.
just hits
Yeah,
him
and he
again,
comes
and
back.
It just keeps happening. He just keeps dying.
That'd
like,
be
It's just like it's a Skyrim
amazing.
style execution where if you hit like a critical or like a kill with a certain way, he like comes up behind him and like shoves a
Yeah.
sword through his spine and drops him down, and it does like the ragdoll until you died, and then he comes back.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and every time he dies, it takes slightly longer for him to die again, so you show that he's getting better. And then at the end, he just dies for good, and it's like, you died.
He just
And-
rage quits.
I
See,
imagine a
that
win
would make
con
the
is
fight
that,
fun for me.
like with that reliant resurrection, that'll make him pretty hard to kill. I'm sure there's something lore-wise where you get that passively,
I have no
just
idea
knowing
how-
Elder Scrolls.
how I'm going to do this prediction.
However,
because I don't know if the
there
people
is-
who have done all of the stuff for this fight care to do a prediction.
I think think there's a win con by being able to use a soul gem and a weapon that is enchanted to take souls and put the chosen undead soul into that. At the same time, I don't know if the source of his resurrection would bypass that and bring him back anyway.
If there is not a montage of chosen undead dying over and over, this is a failure of an episode. Just gonna say it right now. If he doesn't have if there's not like at least like a few seconds dedicated to just him getting murdered and coming back over and over, just showing he's clearly outmatched but he's not giving up, then this is a failure.
I think I do want to see the
If he
fight
somehow
is-
wins, I'd lose my shit.
I think I do want to see in the fight is them both take on like draconic forms with like Dragonborn, for like those watching or those present who don't know, has a shout called Dragon Aspect, which will summon like sort of a energy armor over the Dragonborn, which like really boosts their stats. Then the Chosen Undead, I believe, has 2 different Dragon Stones that can activate like the head of a dragon and the body of a dragon or something like that, and so they can just turn into like a dragon person. And I think they have like screams and like flame breath, that kind of stuff. I'd like to see them just like embrace their like dragonness, I suppose, and have like a little skirmish that way.
I want to see Macho Dragon, Thomas Dragon, and Solaire.
Ooh, yeah! Come down from the mountaintops!
That'd be
I don't know where Macho Man is coming from.
I'm currently looking
Yeah!
at the official Death Battle Discord. Yeah, okay. The old Dovahkiin Chosen Undead community death battle on their Discord, that's gone forever now, so I can't even go back to that as a reference.
Oh.
Damn.
That's a moment.
Oofers 100, y'all.
I imagined like obviously the text on the side's going to like list a bunch of stuff and more because of just how enormous their arsenals are.
And they're only
I'm
going to
really
use like 3 things.
I really hope that they use more than 3 things. I don't want to just shit talk the team and like have them on bad faith that it will inherently be bad.
It won't
I'm
be
not saying
bad,
it'll be
but I think
bad.
it would
I'm
be
just
funny. It
saying
would be
settle your
funny
expectations
if he just
now.
uses like a handful of things and that's it. I mean, okay.
Like obviously
That wouldn't be funny. Y'all be pissed.
Admittedly,
It's not funny.
It is a fair point that another episode that's similarly very heavy on equipment with no potential for banter, so it's all about the fight. Link versus Cloud did have a lot.
And that was so good.
Like there was a shitload of stuff thrown out in that one.
Especially because they used a lot of stuff that you wouldn't generally think you would see in something like that. Like they used the Force Sword or like the magic cape to vanish, or you've got Cloud like using like stasis materia or like a time materia or whatever it's called, and using like
gravity,
like using a combination of his actual fusion sword rather than only using it for Omni Slash. I think that's really like cool.
Yeah.
For these two, like I feel kind of bad about just saying like, oh well, you know, this death battle is going to inherently just not have a lot. I understand with it, like, there's only so many resources that can go into it. They only have so much time to make it. They only have so many people working on it, and that it's only going to be about 3 minutes long.
Also, I would
at the
not
same
care
time,
I
like,
would not care to watch a 32-minute long fight that uses everything. I just would not
no, like I'm not expecting everything because not everything they have is all that interesting. I'm just really like really hope that they show some cool stuff in the animation and that it's not just basic sword and shield fighting for like half of it.
On good faith that with the last close enough reference we have being Link Cloud, too, that we're in probably in for a good episode.
You never know. Maybe they took longer to start this season because of this idea. You never know.
I think there's also.
I think it was probably
the
ballot votes that might have been the thing.
I think it's also interesting enough that in a similar vein to Link versus Cloud, like hopefully without Cloud's like a weird start to its analysis, there is a set story and there's a lot of lore that goes behind these characters. But at the same time, covering what you need to explain these characters will not take so much time, so they can just go through explaining the general world and like explaining a lot of their arsenal. I think it'll be really interesting how they analyze
the debate has nothing to actually do with them, but it's just about the world and where they scale to this. Here's a 10-page.
Like, obviously that's going to be part of it when it comes down to like talking numbers or like just talking like
I'm not even sure
tiers. I
We're
suppose
probably not going to get numbers for at least Dragonborn, man. Like all the eats the universe.
Dragonborn.
Just like talking briefly about like here's this character and why they're important and why they're the chosen one. Here's some of the shit that goes on and like what they have to work through. Here's a bunch of their arsenal and some of the more important stuff, and then have some in like side boxes and that kind of stuff. And then get into like what they scale to, and I'm sure end off on some sort of note about like they're super badass. Look how cool they are, and then I just really hope it's good. I have high hopes.
Nem, don't look now, but you're about to click on mid. Don't do
I'm
it.
not gonna click on anything.
Thank God. Well, you can click on like 70% of these,
What are you
maybe.
touching? Don't touch it.
You can touch a few of these if you want.
No. What are you doing?
Actually,
Touching things that I don't want to touch?
I'm talking about Jason and Michael over there.
Yeah, I don't care that the cursor happens to be hovering over. I'm just gonna keep it there to keep my anxiety going. Dick.
Anxiety? You really think I'm that fragile in the psyche that stirs up anxiety?
Yeah, it's Jason.
What kind of
course
cogny do you think I am?
I mean, it's Jason Michael. Of course, it stirs anxiety. It's a very
Rewatched
scary
Jason Michael like
It
yesterday.
stirs my
I think.
indigestion, if anything.
Rewatched Jason Michael yesterday, and I'm like, man, as cool as the analysis's idea is, just kind of like, I understand that it, like, I guess adds to the atmosphere more to not just like be like, and here's a calculation for how fast this would be, but at the same time, like, I would have liked to see a number put to him.
I don't think they
cool.
needed to do calcs as much as they needed to put some like actual feats in beyond. Oh, here's a door. There goes the door. That's the feat. Here's an explosion that happened. That's it. Those are your 2 feats. Bye.
Like, it makes me think of, because I also rewatched Master Chief versus Doom Guy, and I'm pretty sure their explanation was just like, Doom Guy was pretty tough, but Master Chief was tougher, and that's the explanation. It's just that Master Chief is better. Like, ends of story.
I love.
I'm
that
supposed
whole-
to not
I
want a
love
remake
whole
of that?
episode
Okay.
Because Master Chief's backstory, like sidebar, doesn't show up until the fucking end of his analysis.
Really funny.
Like,
But I love that they're just like, you know, Doom Guy may be like able to fight the armies of hell, but you know, the Corvitte's not
he
so
moved
different. And
it.
also, Master Chief just is better, so.
DuckDuckGo.com.
I really hope that one gets, because like, I've been getting into the Halo games. I'd love to see Master Chief get a run back, and I love Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. They're so fun.
Doom Eternal
to
is
see-
so good.
I would love to see their kits bounce off of each other. Like, I'd love to see the different upgrades for the various weapons that Doom Guy has, and like, I'd love to see just like his new movement options against like Chief's new movement options, and like some of the
Ooh, a
stuff he
rap
has other than
battle.
just like basic UNSC weapons, because like Covenant weapons, and like obviously he doesn't have like standard access to brute tech, but like he finds it on the ground all the fucking time. It'd be cool to see him just throw a fucking fire grenade at him.
When the aliens
So you
want to
up my anxiety? Play this.
Our hyper-advanced technology isn't enough. Our last hope will
This is
inevitably be
shit.
placed in the hands of the lone Space Marine.
It's one of my
Bring up
favorite
Space
weapons in
Marine,
Halo.
don't show an actual Space
and
Marine.
Doom Guy, the bane of hell itself. He's
Hi, Doom Guy.
and it's our job to
I
analyze
like
their
how, like, he
weapons,
didn't
armor,
have a
and skills
name,
to find out who
but
would
he
win
did. His
a
name's
death
Flynn.
battle.
That's
Hi,
Doom Guy's
Flynn.
name, Flynn McTaggart.
John 117 was
Look at that
conducted
tiny
by
boy.
UNSC
Actually, I do like that you could
Spartan
also
2 program.
completely accurately
The
call this
worst
fight
daycare
John versus
ever.
Flynn.
At
and
14,
you would
he
not be
underwent
wrong
the
at all.
program's augmentation procedures,
John.
dramatically increasing his
15
strength,
times stronger
speed,
skeleton,
vision, intelligence,
muscle
and
increase,
reflexes.
300% increased reflexes, better eyesight and perception. That's what the increased reflex probably is about, dickhead.
I thought it
Boosted
said
tissue
lactose.
Lactose
recovery
recovery
decrease.
Upon reaching
I
the rank of
read
Master Chief
lactose.
Petty Officer, John began a 30-year campaign leading
I'm
the Spartans
tired.
against 3 different threats.
Run,
the
bitches.
Insurrection, the Alien Covenant,
Who
and
the-
the
Gonna have to
Flood.
accept this is also a
As
reaction.
a Spartan,
What
he
you
wears
do?
Mark 6 Mjolnir armor. This technological
Say what?
Titanium alloy plating. Let's also bring up the fact that if you get
Me plating?
the slightest amount of damage to that little chip in the back of his neck, he could rip himself apart trying to move in it. That's what happens in the Fall of Reach book to several Spartans.
Did y'all know he has me alloy plating? That's
You know he
base.
weighs 1,000 pounds? He's like 5
He's
times
fat
what
fuck.
Vader weighs.
Scoped high-powered pistol uses 12.7mm armor-piercing
You
rounds
fat
with a
fuck.
precision accuracy of over 400 feet.
It's still so insane to me that Thor's pretty tall for a guy, but he's also like fucking 650 pounds.
What?
Yeah, you know what? I can
Is he
believe that.
really?
He is meant to have
Thor-
a super dense.
Thor is
erectile
over
structure.
600 pounds. Thor is fucking insanely heavy.
Yeah, he's meant to have.
I know
really
he's a
dense-
man. I know he's a meat wall made of man meat, but Jesus Christ,
Man meat, he's made of Asian meat.
But even that's
he's
not
made
enough
of
killing
God
power.
Made of
meat.
Asgardian meat. Well, and he's got a little bit of Phoenix Force in him too.
Yeah, apparently. Of course he does. So how is it that when he was Donald Blake he didn't have any powers? Who fucking knows, huh?
Fuck you.
The Spartan laser that I think I've never used in any game. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
have, because they give it to you. They give it to you in a couple missions in 3. I think. Heck, no, they start
I've
you off
never
in, like,
used it
one mission in
either
3
because
with that.
I've never used it
Then,
either because I've
I
never
don't
played
remember
fucking
ever
Halo.
using Spartan laser.
In Halo 3, there's a mission where it opens up and there's like fucking wraiths and shit everywhere, so you're supposed to use that to take them out because it one-shots any vehicle in that game.
I don't
And then in
I
UNSC,
don't
when you
remember.
first play as Chuck, when you first play as
Used to-
Chuck in UNSC, which is I think the third or fourth mission of that game, UNSC, ODST.
We need to do reactions to other old death battles. This is funny.
In
They
ODST,
haven't brought up his
you also
backstory
get-
at all beyond like a few seconds at the start. You're gonna get the backstory
Beyond,
card of Batman.
he was a child who had a quarter.
Background
Or-
is a
or-
plasma pistols, plasma rifles, and I still love the plasma pistol, like the melee attack is just a fucking punch.
Changali.
I love that with the needler, you turn it around and slap the spikes into someone's face.
It features 2 4-foot laser blades
That, like,
actually block.
honestly, one of the most efficient melee weapons in the game is the brute shot because one end of it's just a big fucking knife.
It's a big blade designed to tell you to go fuck off. Yeah, background, there it is.
It's
A
even
lot of brute
fatter with
technology is,
the
like,
armor.
Like, the brute grenades are probably one of the worst grenades in the game, unless there's like some insane meta that I don't know about, in which case Halo fans please correct me. But
I love this super
like,
soldier.
you throw them and they shoot up and like straight up and they never hit anything unless you throw it in a bubble shield where they bounce around inside of it, or you hit someone with it and it shoots into them.
Finishing this fight.
They say destroyed Halo 04. Its name is installation number 4, not Halo number 4. Flynn! Let's go, Flynn!
He's only 230 pounds, you skinny shit.
He weighs less than
But also, I don't think they bring it up in this episode or point it out, and I don't know if this was like. I'm pretty sure I remember in Halo 3 at some point you fucking take out one of the brutes and like they just drop an invulnerability power up.
Is there supposed to be a space between Mega
I was
and
gonna say that,
armor?
yeah. Is it meant to be Mega Armor?
Mega armor. Mega armor. It's my Mega armor.
Like, I had never heard of there being an invulnerability power up, and I don't think it was ever in any other level, but I picked it up in one level in Halo 3, and it was very, very strange. Lasted like 12 seconds.
It's a
It
chain.
didn't last very long. You finish that level like fucking 10 seconds after.
Oddly, the chain gun uses
The music just stopped for a second so Boomstick could talk about a chainsaw. What
I
the
do
hell?
love that they bring up the chain gun just uses fucking bullet and like pistol bullets. Bullet ammo. I was really bad to say bullet ammo.
Bullet.
Hey, it's not Boomstick's kitten launcher.
That just sounds like the cat launcher from Family Guy. Just Adam West.
Cat silencer from Postal.
Oh my god.
The cat silence, the legendary cat silence.
And then if you put in the
Canadian
cheat to
bacon
make
on
it
my
shoot
pizza.
cats out, it's a cat silencer that shoots cats.
Yeah.
Put Canadian bacon on my pizza instead of actual bacon. Pizza delivery man, prepare to meet your maker. With the menace of my cat launcher.
Doom Guy's ultimate weapon while showing him carrying nothing until the moment he gets it.
Oh, there it goes.
It did nothing actually. It survived that.
I love when Mayor Adam West goes up to like guess your weight thing, and it's like, like 120 pounds, and he goes, nope, 2 pounds, and flies full, just floats.
Ha! I'm 90% helium. Just floats away and grabs
he
his
just
toy
floats
on the way
away, just-
out.
They say take
Just
out
grabs
the
his
Cyber Demon
soft
2 or 3
air.
shots, but they just showed like the third shot not kill the guy.
I also don't give any kind of reference for how powerful a cyber demon is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they haven't shown any footage from the movie or made a joke about
The reference for
movie.
how strong a cyber demon is just look at it. That thing
Yeah,
looks
fucking
powerful.
look at this guy.
That thing looks like it'll kick my ass.
This thing out, if you shoot it, it dies.
from
You know,
hell.
they gotta make it supposed to
Well, I
only
guess
be
it
strong
doesn't
against
really
things
matter
that
when you
are from
already have a
hell. I
backpack
think
full
looking at
of
the size of
things
it, you
to
can just
kill
club
people
someone with that.
Give me the BFG.
I think it's really funny that
Blood.
comparison,
Now, Doomguy
rather
is
than
not
painting how
Dynamite.
powerful,
but his strength
rather
and
than
speed are
painting how
much
powerful
greater
that
than
weapon
normal
is,
men.
that it can
The
take out a
consequence
cyber
of
demon in that many
super
shots. There's
strength
no
and
point of
power
comparison
is
for how strong a cyber demon is. So it's just
Like
like the cyber demon is so strong it can survive that many shots from any kind of weapon.
You could just be like, it's just got a magical
Doomguy
power to
rarely
survive
relies on
3 shots.
strategy, preferring to mow
It's
down
just a
enemies
testament
as
to
fast
this
as he can.
demon. Like it's like, oh well, it can take 3 shots from this
The
weapon.
armies of hell
Come here,
thrive
boys, I
on
gotta
it.
say
Wow.
something.
He even walked knee deep into hell itself
It's
to avenge
I like how he only walked
Aw,
He was
Daisy.
very willing to get knee deep. Once he got to his waist, he was like, nope, nope, nope,
and can
nope,
spot
nope, nope.
invisible
God,
enemies.
anyone who draws like Daisy as some weird anime waifu dating Doom guy, I hate you.
What kind of fucking circles of the internet are you in?
Look
my
it
guy?
up, it exists. I'm a
I
Doom
don't think
fan,
I
so
will,
people send me
actually.
that.
I don't think I'm
people
gonna look that up.
people send me that
I'm
crap
gonna
because
assume
I'm a
that you're
Doom
guessing
fan, and it pisses me off.
If you're looking for a
Oh,
fast
you guys
and
want to
easy
sign up
really
for free? It's
pisses
not-
me
it's
off.
totally free, 14-day
Look
trial, no
no
credit card
further
required,
than
no commitment.
Squarespace.
This registration
It's
form will
fully
serve as
hosted with
the
no hassle
fucking
and plenty of
piece of...
You can get creative.
Why is there a
Farmers
cat in an
America.
astronaut
Spot.com.
suit?
Mike Davis at www.michaeldavis.com.
Squarespace
Gibbet
even
at
has Twitter and Facebook built
www.gibbet.lu.
right into the system, as well as
Places I've
24/7
been.
support.
Foursquare, Facebook places. Venue icon. Check in
Go to
location text. Text images, tags, orders, comments. I can't read that under your fucking text,
for a
you
10%
bastard.
discount and 2 weeks.
This episode is sponsored by Squarespace.
I should do that. I should go use this code. I'm sure it still works.
Surely. We're fighting in nondescript
I
land.
appreciate they put a warthog there, making you think that it was going to be like used by Chief, but now he just fucking throws it.
Fight. Bang, 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 bang.
I'm pretty sure a real Halo player would probably go for the Magnum and just try to shoot him in the head immediately, and then once that doesn't work, they'd go with the rifle.
And if it's like a Halo
Oh no.
I mean, I assume it's Halo 1 Magnum. Good aim.
You're really bad at this.
I like that though. I like him just catching the missile and just throwing it back. And
He
then-
doesn't even like flip it. He like grabs the top of it, lets go, and it flies.
I love that. I love it that he just like, that's a projectile
like-
now.
I know those things have bad physics, but Christ.
I just appreciate that the Warthog was a projectile instead of a vehicle in this fight.
That's a big one. Uh-oh. Mine. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, a rocket launcher didn't do it. A sniper will put him down.
Just wait, you daft wanker.
Why are you glowing? Haha, right in the dick.
This is
Mine's
the worst.
bigger.
This is the worst part of the fight. Just like, he shoots him.
Oh,
very
the part where
visibly.
Doom Guy's just like, huh?
Like, very visibly,
Huh?
Chief got hit by that, and then a plasma grenade comes out.
Oh.
And then
He
where'd
has the
that come
bubble
from?
shield up.
Where's the
Wait.
Shield
generator?
up when he throws the grenade, doesn't he?
No, like, he very clearly.
Uh-huh.
Look, no. Very clearly, he gets hit by that. He does not dump the generator. You can see he just gets hit by that.
He disappears for like a frame.
For a frame, he's gone. He gets hit by it. That comes out, and
Correct
then
me if
turns
I'm
out
wrong.
he just threw the plasma grenade through the bubble shield. Apparently.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like any kind of grenade does not go through a bubble shield. If it's on the inside, it stays there, and if it's on the outside, it
Yeah,
stays
he would have
there.
just gotten
It's
himself
about
killed.
time we had a good old-fashioned
Unless he
gunfight.
reached out of
Doomguy
the
may have
fucking
an
shield,
enormously destructive
got
arsenal,
his
but
hand burnt off, and
his
just
weapons
tossed
lack
it, which would have been
versatility.
cool if that's what
I
actually
hate to
happened.
admit it, but Chief can take and dish out way more punishment
More
than
weapons,
Doomguy.
broader variety
And
of
while
skills.
defeating Hell sounds awe-inspiring, Doomguy's enemies weren't that much different from Master Chief's.
I think
This
you'll
fight
find that
was
one of them
nuts.
could take 2 to 3 shots from the
The
BFG
winner
actually.
is
So,
the Master
are you
Chief.
sure?
I think it's really funny to point out how one of Master Chief's biggest feats is surviving orbital re-entry while hanging onto like a piece of metal or whatever.
Don't you skip. We have
An objectively inferior Spartan in Noble 6, who was a part of the Spartan 3 program rather than the 4 and thus was weaker, survived the same feat without holding on to anything. He just got fucking dumped out of a Covenant airship and onto the planet's surface, and he just got back up and kept fighting.
Chief survived like a nuke. He wasn't that close to it, but like in one of the books, a nuke goes off, and he's just there, and he just walks out. Just walks out of it. He's fine.
Which is impressive. I just think it's funny to always cite the orbital reentry feat as if weaker people haven't done that. So that's like,
As if people in
As
real
if-
life haven't managed that, technically.
yeah. As if Batman didn't do that.
Clayface survived orbital reentry, and he landed with enough force to, like, take out a town.
Even Bolt survived orbital reentry.
I'm actually checking the... I'm checking the G1 blog for Master Chief Doom Guy to take a look at what the feats they had for Chief were.
Can you make a video that's just top 10 orbital reentry feats?
I mean,
Number 10 is Gundam because he needed to use a bag.
You can have Noble Six, you can have Cannonbolt, you can have Shadow the Hedgehog, you can have Batman.
Now, you might not think that Godzilla getting hit with this meteor counts, but Monster X is that meteor, so...
That's an orbital reentry feat if I've ever seen one. In fact, on that topic, fucking Gamera versus Hypergeos.
Yeah, it's a Gauss feat, because he was taking the full brunt of it.
It's like always feats applied to someone that's like not near like who you're like thinking of. You're like, oh, a Halo reentry feat, obviously Master Chief. Nope, Noble Six is like, oh, Godzilla survived reentry. Nope, Monster X did.
Wait, did they show the next time already on this one?
No, this one didn't show.
My internet died for like 2 seconds, so I didn't.
Sonic
get to
06
see
here, we see Super Shadow fall back to the Earth, and he's not dead. Shadow the Hedgehog happens after that.
Whoa.
He's not
But what if he's
okay,
a
but he's not
clone?
dead.
But what if he's a robot?
The feat they have here for Chief, for most of it, the big one is if you scale him to the Warden from Halo 5, he'd be like over nearly 300 tons of TNT. If you scale him to the Uradidact, or something of Shattered Sundered Star, he can get to 3 megatons.
Ooh.
So that's where the Master Vader is.
Thank you, Master Vader.
Where can we get?
What?
Where does Doom Guy get?
Video, I think recently it was a video like by the Ackman or something like that. I saw a video talking about how fucking stupid Halo 4 is, and how it's really dumb that the Forerunners call themselves the Forerunners, and how pretentious that is, because how did they know they were going to be like the Forerunners to anything?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Simple math, my friend.
I like how there's this like the verdict for Chief Doomslayer is like very big, but it's like, come on, man. No. Ooh.
Also very
The
wrong.
stats for these two are not as clear cut to approach as most others. I agree if that's Chief you're talking about. I mean, I guess that is a very accurate way of describing it, while not saying this is close. The only thing Chief has is that he's faster.
We should watch another shit death battle.
Honestly, I don't think the old Chief Doom Guy is that bad for the time that it was made.
I don't like it.
I think for the time it came
I'm
out,
biased. I
the
don't like it.
analysis isn't great, but the fight's not the worst. The biggest problem is that naturally, because Doom Guy's sprites had literally nothing going on, what were they supposed
He
to
just
do?
stands there.
Oh, there's a bad.
He just stands there like Scout with his lead socks.
And we have a favor to ask.
Right
After the
as the
video,
next
click the link in the
recommended.
description. It's going to take you to pod
Whoa,
How long has the recording been going now?
The survey is about
Darth Vader.
Hi, Vader.
Go in a galaxy far, far away. This
Says Adolf Hitler.
Who needs to come back already?
I can't
Jesus
wait to see
Christ.
him in season 10.
nobody stood a chance.
He needs to come back.
Against Scooby-Doo, where he's gonna fucking die.
This episode is
before he was a
shit.
Dark Lord of the Sith,
We're gonna get the
he
most
was
iconic
Anakin
movie villain
Skywalker.
of
And in
all
his
time.
God, I really don't want Vader to lose to fucking
You're gonna get the most iconic
Obito.
movie villain, Santa Claus.
He does die too.
I don't care, Nem. I don't want him to.
Well, then you shouldn't want
I
him to
don't
come back
want-
then, because he's gonna.
I want him to come back and actually do cool shit at least, okay?
He'll do cool shit. He just will die after doing the cool shit.
He'll do cool shit. He's just gonna fucking die to Obito of all fucking people.
Pretty uncool thing of dying to a guy with a
Oh,
spiral
whoa,
face.
whoa, whoa, hold on. No, what do you mean Obito of all people? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, just comparing the two in terms of sheer iconography and popularity, one is Darth Vader and the other one is Obito.
One of them is one of the most popular characters from one of the most popular anime on the planet that you will see in literally every store.
And the other one is one of the most popular
Every
characters of
store.
all time. Period. End of story.
Yeah, one of them is Darth fucking Vader and the other one
Don't
is
fucking talk about
rando
Obito
anime
like he's a
villain.
nobody, though.
He's definitely compared to Vader. He's a fucking nobody.
I'm not on the side of saying Obito is a nobody. I compared to Vader he is. But Obito is not a nobody. But he does kind of look like a dweeb with that mask. That mask
I am
is kinda
comparing him to
dweeb looking
Vader.
me.
Compared to Vader, he is a fucking
Mask
nobody.
is cool. The mask is cool. Some of the masks are cool.
Spiral. It looks like it's from fucking Junji
Toby or not Toby.
Like, the orange mask is kind of cool, and I like the white spiral mask, but like the Sharingan mask is a little tacky, and the one he wears like that has like a flame pattern on it, I'm not too crazy about. But like, Obito's such a fucking cool character.
That's like
Talk shit.
Madara.
Hi,
Hi, Rebels.
Darth Vader episode with no Imperial March. I don't know how I feel about that. I do know how I feel about that. I don't like it.
Never, nobody.
I mean, I
likes
can't
it.
imagine we won't at least have Boomstick going. Boo, boo, boo.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's gonna be in the track, right? It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the
life
track.
support
It's not gonna
system
be like
designed to protect what was left of him and intimidate foes.
I like Obito more than Vader for that matter, because in a lot of like Vader's supplementary material, I don't think it portrays him very well.
The armor is even dense enough to deflect
usually
lightsaber
fine in
blows.
like some of in most of
You're dead to me.
Vader, his new body had several problems. The armor was cumbersome
back
and
there,
weighed him
cock.
down. Much of it was mismatched, snagged.
Telling me he has no penis.
It's like the more and more that they explain Vader as they expanded the canon both in like the legends and like official Disney stuff now, the more and more they expand him, the more and more it's like, well, this guy's just kind of fucking like disabled and miserable. Like he just kind of his life just kind of sucks. He's not having fun at all.
usually in Legends he's having a good time, just fucking killing everything.
Yeah, in Legends he's pretty good. He's
Like yeah,
First, he quickly grew
like he doesn't have a penis anymore. Most of his limbs are gone. He can't breathe correctly.
basically
he doesn't
a very
love
angry
anybody.
man in a
Everyone he thought he
wheelchair.
loved is dead or doesn't like him and sees him as a villain. Like yeah, they just portray him as like this guy's just like really really sad, which fair enough. But
a very
in Legends, when he's confronted with someone who's sad that he fell, his response is basically just, yeah, so what, fuck it. I don't care.
I just like the idea. Vader is the epitome of the term angry cripple.
yeah. Which I guess technically half of Obito's entire body is prosthetic.
With nothing but his hands. Anticipate his
They
opponent's
both
next
lost
move
half their bodies,
and
and one's
increase his
vertical,
speed
the
and
other's
strength.
horizontal.
And though his
Shit.
mechanical limbs cannot channel force lightning like his master,
I love
he can
Obito.
condense
That's
and
probably
Ball
one of my favorite
lightning.
Naruto characters.
Ball lightning. I'm the only one who can make
Come
sense
up.
of Magic the Gathering. You guys wouldn't fucking understand it.
I was referencing regular show, you fuck.
I was referencing Magic the Gathering. Ball lightning is one of my favorite.
Electro Ball.
Is that it?
See, the thing
Oh,
is
okay.
that Vader lost his testicles, so now he's got to
Ow.
compensate with a
And also with the deep ass voice that came out of nowhere. Vader's like Kane, right? He just got burned to death and then he had to use a voice changer to sound cool.
Honestly,
I like that.
Choke on your
the
aspiration.
explanation is probably that Sidious made it like that so he could never hear his voice again because Sidious
And finally, after discovering his
Now I really...
Yeah, like
Now I really
like
want
the same
Vader
way
to
that he
use
made his
that.
respirator not work properly just so he'd be fucking miserable all the time.
Now
that's actually what happened. He didn't care about his son. He just wanted to get rid of Palpatine because he realized he's an asshole.
Now I really want Vader to use that voice like amplifier that Kane used, and he's like, "I will set myself on fire."
Dr. Doom.
I really want to see that. Hi, you.
I think there's also like
I'm not going to say my opinions
now,
on you
granted,
because everyone
I
hates
have
him.
not seen all of Obi-Wan, but I have seen the Darth Vader scenes, and it's like some of it's kind of cool, some of it looks really
I
stupid,
saw
and some
all of
of it just...
Obi-Wan, and Vader's the only good part of that show.
I haven't played
doctor
the
who
sequel
died
to
of
Fallen
frostbite,
Order, so
and
I
his
don't know if
mother
Vader's in
just
it,
so
but
happened to
Vader's
be a
boss
satanic
battle in
witch
Fallen
who
Order
accidentally
is the
sold her soul to the
coolest
devil.
thing ever.
Poor
'cause
orphan
I'm pretty
it
sure he
shows
is
up,
in the
to master
sequel.
both
and
science
Pretty
and
sure he
magic
is.
to
You
honor
get
his
the choice
parents.
of you can run or you
And
can attack him. No
he
matter
did.
what you do, you're
By
gonna get
secretly
throttled.
combining
And the
technology
entire boss
He also
battle
doesn't
Vader
have a
is
health
just
bar.
try to get out.
himself with a number of
Like, just try
miraculous
to
inventions,
run.
Vader
including a robotic
Vader doesn't have a
of
health bar
himself.
in that game.
I think the biggest issue I have with like the Darth Vader scenes in Obi-Wan is that like most of the villains in Obi-Wan, they just look like fucking bumbling idiots half the time.
This isn't Doom
Third sister.
That is Geek Mandarin.
You know what sucks about that though is that the Grand Inquisitor looks like a complete chump in Obi-Wan, but in Rebels he is so freaking cool.
It blew up in his face.
Yeah.
And you know what's the worst part? Rebels is like kind of a Disney show, so it makes no sense that they screwed up that bad.
Only injury being a single scar, Victor was horrified that his
I like Rebels. I'm watching it right now with Cody actually, after watching Clone Wars. Rebels is good so far.
and ended up joining a group of Tibetan monks.
I can't like. I only watch Clone Wars every now and then, but I remember liking it a lot. I could never get into Rebels.
It
I
had-
think maybe it's like.
Before it cooled down, messing up his face even more.
This armor magically severed his physical
And there are a couple
connection to the
I
world.
remember he was at least in it though, because they marketed him a lot. Because I remember I had a toy of Grievous that came with like an Anakin toy.
Clone Wars a lot. It's just he just regularly gets his ass kicked.
He gets like what, 2 W's in that whole show?
I
With
like
his
his
new
episode with
armor,
Kid Fisto,
Dr.
that
Doom
was good,
soon
and that's
conquered
like
his
it.
home
That's the
country
end.
Latveria.
No, he.
I
the
I
Night
remember as
Sisters
a kid, I
episode,
really,
too.
really liked both Anakin and Rex. I thought they were like the coolest
I
characters.
know, like,
ever.
I know Grievous loses to Ventress, but in the Night Sisters episode, he kind of just fucking dominates afterwards.
He gets into Dathomir and he just kills everyone. That's
He just
great.
shows that he's actually pretty fucking competent when the writers allow him to be.
Isn't Asajj Ventress's whole like thing that she wants to be a Sith Lord, but she fucking sucks, so no one will let her?
I mean, she's not bad. She's just like not as good as you know.
With it, he's
Maul
strong enough
and
to lift
Sidious,
buildings,
who are all
survive
around
blows
at the
from
same time.
Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, and one-shot the Incredible Hulk.
He's like, I want to be a Sith Lord. Wasn't there some other guy that was just like too much of a problem, and he's the reason there's a law there cannot be 2 Sith Lords at the same time?
For turning tiny pebbles into giant boulders.
Maybe I should look into this science thing.
Pebbles
The
to
armor also
boulders.
has numerous methods of energy absorption and
Just stands there
manipulation,
and takes it.
giving him complete control over all sorts
I
of
Goes, oh no, a rock, my
I
weakness.
actually watch Armored
Overpowered
Defense
suit
again.
in comic
I
history.
really like that.
I mean, it
I
even
really
has
like that
pieces
Doom
of the
design.
true
I don't know
cross
why.
to
It's just
protect
very dark. I
I
like it.
designs in that
undead
show just
enemies.
generally.
It
Like I
not
said,
only
that-
I don't
that-
like
has
Crimson
physical
Dynamo
strength,
too
but also
much,
his
honestly.
magical abilities,
Maybe that's
which
just me.
includes
I don't.
teleportation, mind
I don't like
transfer,
Crimson
demonic
Dynamo
summons,
generally. He's kind of
mystical
just like an
blasts,
eh
and numerous
character,
other
but-
spells he's learned.
Oh, but I love Crimson
As
Dynamo.
I said, Mandarin is at his
Okay. No, you gotta look up Crimson Dynamo in the Superhero Squad show, and you will love the character.
No, Maki,
by
you're dead.
waiting.
Oh yes, I think
That's
I'll
it.
be
I'm
immortal
sending you
today.
something.
But
I'm
as
not gonna look
awesome
at
as
it.
his armor is, Doom's
You
still a
know,
badass.
you
I'm
better.
recording this. I
One
can't switch
time,
over to
Doom
look.
found himself stranded on another Earth, buck naked.
Then
after
look
being
up
switched
Crimson
with his
Dynamo
arch
after
nemesis
this, you
Reed
dip.
Richards by a celestial. Long story.
I can't believe his
Anyway,
armor
he gets
blocks
attacked by
Silver
a
Surfer's
lion,
TK,
which
whatever
he
that is.
straight up
I know
killed
what it
with a
is.
single punch. Then turned it into a pretty sweet suit.
Whatever it is,
Under
I know what
Doom's
it
rule,
is.
I just want to
country
make clear I know what that is. I was
prospered.
being snide.
Its people loved their new dictator, though the rest
Just
of the
let it
world
be
was
known,
like,
guys.
"You
I'm really
ain't
smart.
Probably
It's-
because he keeps
so the
trying
main
to
theme
conquer
for
it all.
Darth Vader, Dr. Doom,
Well,
right,
whether
is that
Doom is a
Vader's got
bad
no
guy
dick and
is a
Doom's a
bit up for
dictator,
debate.
right? That's it, right?
Sure, there was that one time he sacrificed the woman he loved to hell and had her skin
That's what I
turned
thought.
into
Vader
a
has
covered
no
in
dick.
gore.
Doom has
But for a
all the
long time,
dick.
Doom's top priority was actually rescuing his mother from damnation.
Because Doom is like,
Eventually
he's
pulled it off.
awesome
With
and
that on
cool,
the list, Doom
and
did
like
what
6
any
foot
nuclear-powered
something,
titan
and
of
he
science
has a
would do.
giant
To use
penis,
magic and
and
science
he's
to create the
amazing,
perfect penis and
and he's
large
better than everyone else. And even when all the heroes die, he's somehow still alive because fuck you.
The only
See,
reason
Doom
he's
truly
not the
believes he
Sorcerer
must
Supreme
conquer
is
the
because they're
world,
not going to allow
as that is the
Sorcerer
only
Supreme's
possible
main
future
priority.
freed
is the
from
perfect
suffering
penis.
and want.
No wonder.
Right.
No wonder
A
the
lot of
writers
people
like
really,
sucking
really
his
like
dick so
Doom.
much.
A lot of people whose favorite villain is Doom will cite that they love how fucking like how many power moves he has. Like, oh, he fucking made his own country and then gave himself a doctorate. Like, it's so cool. Me personally, one of my favorite Doom stories is that he owed Luke Cage like $20, so Luke Cage came to his house and just beat the shit out of him in the middle of his own country.
Doom is at his best when he's like
Mr.
blustering
Fantastic
and then he
tricked him into
gets his
flying into a
shit
power
rocked.
cosmic sucking force field.
Yeah, He'll be like, "You pathetic fools," and then the thing will just like smack him.
Could ever stand
Yeah.
in his way.
Like Doom's not.
That's so funny to me because like Luke Cage is durable, but he is not like Doctor Doom durable. So like he comes up into Latvia somehow, and Doom is like, "Oh, hello, Luke Cage," and Luke Cage is like, "Where's my money?" He's like, "I don't owe you shit." So he just beats the shit out of him in his own throne room, runs his pockets, steals his money, and just leaves.
You remember when he was a brony? Good times.
I don't think Doom.
Superhero Squad.
I don't think Doom making a country and giving himself a doctor is a power move. That's actually kind of pathetic.
Kind of a bitch move, actually.
A power move would be like if he made like his own country and then got himself his own version of the Avengers just so he could kick their ass. I apologize. I shouldn't have been. That would be more of a power move.
I'm sure he has. Knowing him.
Wait, I was choking that guy. What the hell? How did you get there?
Who the fuck are you?
This boss is over.
They should have just used these clips in Lex vs. Doom, I'll be honest.
Or just not had the guy try to replicate him.
It wasn't even close. Good. It did not. It sounded more like the 90s animated Doom than it did
I
in VC
I
Doom.
don't mind the voice on its own. I just think those lines don't fit that much.
They don't fit the more
Also,
goofy
I love
side
the
Doom can
juxtaposition
carry.
that whenever it comes time to do business and he's like in front of all his like superhero fucking like enemies and like his supervillain contemporaries and stuff, Doom puts on this facade as like fucking stern, hyper genius dictator. Meanwhile, in his free time when he's just like hanging out in his bedroom, he'll just be fucking sitting there reading a book going ding ding Maxwell Silverhammer.
I can't believe he just did the jerk off hand.
It is pointless to resist.
You wretch!
Ow!
Why is there blood from that Doom board?
Because it's so real.
Because he put blood in it? Like,
is that a
come on,
TIE
you
fight?
dumbass.
Nah, that's a TIE Advance. I don't know why
I know,
there's
I
like
was making a joke.
1,000 TIE Advance ones when there's meant to be one.
What a farce! Enough.
They didn't even like try to make it seem like Vader had a chance. A Doombot was punching his lightsaber. Like, come on. And then Doom does this and he's like, you missed.
So they're using Legends for Vader, if I recall. Does he not have several ways to tell that was in fact a robot and not the real Doctor Doom?
Canon Vader would, I mean, I guess he wouldn't be able to know his opponent, like, is the real guy.
Hey, I can do that too!
So you could argue that Vader just thought his opponent was a robot, and that's all that, like, someone just sent a robot to fight him. And just
I guess if he was just fighting, he just thought he was fighting a droid. That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
I'm
T-Rex.
ending this boss.
To that extent, does he not know the Force technique that, like, literally all it does is just dismantle a machine?
Yeah, he knows.
I want Vader to... I want Vader to see the T-Rex and be like, oh, come on!
Well, see, as I understand, Shatterpoint allows you to, like, find a specific weak point, be that somebody's, like, mental state, or be that an actual structural integrity problem. I'm thinking there's, like, a specific technique that is used for machines that just, like, fucks them up and makes them stop working.
Did you see Vader just go flying?
He just colored him purple,
Damn.
just made him into the purple guy, sent him flying, and then kicked him in the face.
And then kicked him in the fucking mouth. Owie. Vader, you're one solid hit against the actual Doom and it was an accident. He's like, I meant to do that. What are you doing? Uh-oh.
He doesn't even like he doesn't even like.
This rock's fucking heavy!
He just summoned a rock from the background, and Vader's like, oh, I can't.
Oh shit, it's getting really toasty!
My greatest weakness, stones.
I like that this
My
implies
greatest
that Vader
weakness,
didn't even die in this
SpaghettiOs.
episode. Vader was just in the process.
My personal headcanon is the reason he wasn't able to block that was because Doom literally took the high ground, shrunk it, and then shot it at him.
Yes, I accept that. I accept that explanation.
It's over. I had the high ground. No.
You bitch.
He just like hit Vader with the PTSD, so Vader couldn't move until it was too late.
Here's Doom being awesome. Hello, Doom.
There's a scene in Obi-Wan where Vader makes like a fire between them, and then Obi-Wan uses the fire to just escape. And it's shown like before that Doom is Vader is perfectly capable of just like putting the fire out because he does it before, and he just like sits there and just watches him walk away. It's like, why did just put the fire out, Jason.
I like.
Wait, no, we need to know what the next fight is.
Okay, fine. They bring up how like Doom can take the Force because he survived telekinesis. Oh.
Whoa.
And it just shows Doom getting like rocked by Thanos.
After hundreds of thousands of tests.
Like, it's just
This was back
Doom
when
getting
Ben
set
had all of
flying.
his hair. And Chad had less.
Chad looks so proud of himself. Good job, man.
I
Doesn't
think
he?
my single favorite.
Whoa, Venom and
Thanos
Bane is
feat
right
is
there.
that for people who may not know,
I'm just gonna go and fight.
That's a good
favorite
idea.
Thanos feat, and for people who may not know, there's an alternate universe in the Marvel multiverse called the Cancerverse, where death stopped existing, so shit just continued to grow, and the entire place just became one big like conjoined tumor. Like it was literally just a life with the absence of death. Thanos showed up there, and he's like, "Huh, that's neat," and killed it anyway, even though death did not exist.
We have good old Guerrero here is.
He literally just used his
Bane.
magic to make it die anyway. He gave death to something that conceptually cannot die.
Remember when Doom somehow survived the events that happened in Maestro Hulk's timeline? No one else survived, but he did. Not Thor, not Silver Surfer, nobody. But Doom survived.
Bane just turns around like, ooh.
And here we have Venom, played by Carnage.
Why does Venom sound like a deranged Jar Jar Binks?
I'm not the only one, like, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I know God, you see Bane's hand? What the hell was wrong with his hand?
So he's just
Also,
fine.
bullets
Just bullets.
bounce
Yeah,
off?
fuck it.
What the fuck? Bane is not bulletproof.
You know, why didn't we get Bane versus Zangief? That would go way harder.
It would.
What?
Good sound. Wait, why don't you make
Zangief
Bane Zangief as a rap battle? That sounds great.
Me?
Yes.
I don't feel like it.
That's fair.
Zangief versus Rhino all the way, personally.
If I get in a good mood, maybe I will.
It's like Zangief and Rhino both have this like this energy of just being like big and fucking durable as shit and like stupid powerful.
I think the hard part with Rhino and Zangief, for me at least, would be I would want to voice them both and they would sound exactly the fucking same.
Just do that. That sounds funny.
No, you won't be able to
But
tell them
Amazing
apart and
Spider-Man
people will
2.
hate it.
I hate what Amazing Spider-Man 2 has done, where every adaptation of the Rhino now has to have a fucking mech armor. The whole point is that he's a big, dumb fucking, like, he's not even dumb, he's pretty intelligent. He's just like an enormous Rhino man. He's just very durable and very
Dude,
strong, and that is his power.
I hate that they wasted Paul Giamatti.
He is meant to be in a suit. It's just the suit's like stuck to him permanently.
Even without the suit, he's still incredibly strong.
still
He doesn't
huge,
get his
usually,
strength from
yeah.
a fucking mech suit.
I've only seen like one version where I'm okay with the tiny man in a suit, which is like the ultimate from I think the video game specifically, where it's like a small nerd. That that one made me laugh, but otherwise I don't like it.
It's not the Rhino though.
I like how in the PS4,
I know.
like in the PS4 game, he's in a mech suit, but you can see that he's just
But he's still
really
a
big
fucking
under
giant.
it, and it's like, how?
Why the mech suit? Just let him be big.
I don't mind it. In the
So how
game.
the
I like
hell
how-
does this work?
Basically, he stabbed him in the leg.
It's the
stabs him in the
MCU
leg?
syndrome of just like stop making all the costumes so like complicated and stop making everything have like fucking nanobots in it. Just let
Just
people
make-
have costumes and be
Guys,
strong.
just make Rhino look like he did in the PS1 Spider-Man game, and we'll all be happier.
Yeah, just make him fucking like 6
I
polygons.
love Venom shooting out all that web and it's just that little bit around his limbs. He's not even stuck to anything, he's just stuck to the fire.
Can I just say, I really like the shade of black Venom is in this. It's very nice.
I like Black Venom a lot more than I do Blue Venom, which is the color he was in NBC.
Whoa.
What?
Something.
Em, if you think that's racist, that's your fault, not mine.
I do agree that Blue Venom.
Not my fault you can't deal with your closeted insecurities about
play,
race.
Don's favorite episode.
Are you?
I don't know, do you like Sweet Tooth laughing a lot?
Oh.
Hey, we
I
have
don't like-
Guerrero back again.
I
This
do
time
not
he's the
like
DC
that
guy.
rather than
Yeah.
portraying the Joker as like a fucking cunning sadist that will do literally like anything to hurt someone because he thinks it's funny, they just made him annoying.
I love that they
I
decided.
hope
that
no one
the-
steals my... Aw, damn it.
The main thing that Joker should do in this fight is use Batman's equipment that he imagined himself having one time.
Because like Instead
Yeah, he
of
had
having
an
the
actual
Joker fucking
Joker-mobile, but
like
this is from Arkham
manipulating
Knight,
and trying
man.
to like fuck Sweet Tooth and trying to like hurt him and like make him like tear him apart. He's literally just trying to irritate the shit out of Sweet Tooth the entire time, and that is not what the Joker does. It's like Deadpool.
I wish they had done this, like, I mean, I kind of wish they didn't do this, honestly.
I wish they just did the fucking Green Goblin. Who gives a shit about Sweet Tooth?
I do. I would have preferred him not
I like Sweet Tooth a lot.
They clearly
I
don't
do.
give a shit about him because Sweet Tooth isn't even his name.
I like Needles though. He's cool.
I mean,
He's
yeah,
called
This is the
Needles, but
fucking
literally
truck.
everyone
I
calls him
probably-
Sweet
I
Tooth. Who
probably do
cares?
prefer the ice cream truck over the character, to be honest.
Yes, my favorite death battle. Fucking Spider-Man versus Batmobile.
Let's go. Go, Sweet Missile.
I
Ow.
wouldn't be surprised they only did this because they had the Arkham Knight vehicle now, and they're like, let's make the clowns fight. Who cares?
And it's like, what other fight potential is there if you don't focus a decent chunk of the fight on the vehicle, so they're gonna shove the fucking Joker mobile, and specifically the Arkham version at that.
The one that's not actually real. The one that's in Batman's head.
You know what's funny? They probably could have had a dynamic in a ground fight, because Joker versus someone way stronger than him is not exactly abnormal.
Well, yeah, he usually fights people that are stronger than him, but
I
he's
think one
just
of
so
my favorite weapons the
durable.
Joker has ever used was he just like, so he had a tailcoat that had like two ends at it, and he had weights in the end of them, so he just turned and fucking smacked Batman with them.
Yeah, that seems
Whee! I do love the long pistol though.
right. That's good.
I just from '89, I love that.
I love in MK11 his fucking like boxing gloves.
Yes.
It's the like really like long spring-loaded boxing gloves.
Wouldn't that melt his
He
mask?
just pissed on Needles. Like, that's so rude.
He's wet and he got electrocuted. Ah.
It's time for the best part of the fight.
The one big
Hey guy,
smack.
come smell my flower.
Smell my finger. Uh-oh.
Pull my finger.
I'm glad we
My
were all
back's
silent for
full
that.
of
We just all went silent for that.
Holy.
That's great.
Holy shit, he
It was like
flew.
a silent agreement. I think what's
You
funny
know, when I first watched
this
this-
matchup is that Joker genuinely could just overpower the Sweet Bot, and that's great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Oh boy.
I'm still so fucking like.
That's no fun.
Why didn't they just do the Green Goblin? What? There's no way this was more requested, was it?
Somebody on the team probably wanted to do it.
It was probably just like
Would you
a
be
fan
surprised?
of, like Twisted Metal who wanted to do it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be
Twisted Metal
surprised.
sucks. It's dumb.
You know what's
I
funny?
like
they,
Twisted Metal.
They did it. They later would do a fight between a guy who mainly drives and someone who's annoying and doesn't in Johnny Cage Captain Falcon, and they did it way better.
It worked a lot more.
Because
To be
Johnny
fair,
Cage, like-
Falcon has a whole fighting game to go off of.
I know people.
Like Captain Falcon has shit he does outside of his car. Not that Needles doesn't have anything. It's just he doesn't have like that much.
He doesn't have a whole
He
moveset.
also has a game with a whole moveset in it. Yes, he does.
Yeah, but that movie, that game is shit.
Yeah, that game's terrible.
Yeah, it does exist. I know people want.
Yeah,
like,
but it's a game.
Another matchup that people want in this style is fucking Toretto versus Kiryu from Yakuza, which. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't hate it.
I'd love to see he tries to. I'd love to see Dom try to like run Kiryu down, and then he just grabs the car and flips it.
I want to just suplex the car or something.
That would be cool.
He just fucking like does a fucking Terry Bogard like power dive and just like punches the hood of the car and knocks it over him.
The biggest explosion that no one could survive, and Dom just walks out of it with like a big wrench to hit him with. And
Picks
just,
up a tiger and fucking throws it through the windshield.
He's just like, I want Dom to just. Walk
So
out
we
of
can
it.
agree. This is the best part of the episode, right? This right here.
Oh, come on. Wasn't that
That's gonna jump scare
Both
people.
clowns were skilled in
That's
combat.
Yeah, but it's
but
funny.
Joker's superior tactics and unpredictable
It
weaponry
fits.
gave him the leg up he needed.
His unpredictable weaponry, like a gun. As
A
they
gun,
say.
another gun, a flower that shoots acid. We've never seen that before.
Joy buzzer.
The Joker can take a lot of
punishment, and he's good enough to survive
That blurry ass footage.
Honestly, I would have found it funny if Needles actually did land a hit on him. Like he just stuck the machete halfway through his head, and Joker just laughed, and they just didn't care.
Needles, whose mental capacity is
Green Goblin gadgets is that he has this little mechanical frog and he throws it at people, and it will just like fucking bounce up and scream really loud at them.
So it's like you as a gadget.
It's you as a frog.
Don't scream at people. Excuse me.
Are you sure? Oh, what the fuck? That's me.
Most
Would never
unfair.
scream.
Wow, Nem, you watch your own videos? What a fucking
No,
cuck.
I'm not signed in.
Oh.
I'm not signed in. It just showed up.
Oh.
Huh.
You know, Venom vs. Krona is pretty mid.
I honestly just thought I should open that video just to give myself an extra view. You know, if you want mid, let's go Flash Quicksilver. That's a pretty mid episode. It's like the definition of perfectly okay.
It is the definition of
The best part of it
the
is
next
not the
Flash episode is better.
Let's race to Japan.
You know what's funny? I think this
Let's
episode
race
actually
to Japan.
I think this episode conveys the speed better than Flash Sonic.
I poison. Oh damn.
Why, dude? Look, it's
Best
everyone's
part
favorite
is
character in this matchup.
yeah.
I do
You're
love
not
the,
wrong.
I do love the
When
pointless,
talking about
like,
me, you're not
the
wrong.
pointless title for him. That's great.
Is that a recorded line or is that just a Captain America line taken from somewhere?
Probably taken from somewhere, I don't know.
Who the hell is this lady?
I know she has a name. She's like some. I wanna say
She's gonna fall into the abyss. Cap's like, no, I will never catch her in time, even though I'm right here. Cap, you can see faster. How could you not see her falling before she fell?
I got her. Wait, who the hell are you? You trying to steal my spotlight?
I know this guy's voice. I think I've heard him in comic dubs before.
Hashtag bullshit. That's me.
Bullshit.
I love that line. There's the spontaneousness of it. And how Bartholomew's just like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah, sure.
3.
Hey, dick.
No, I do think they feel faster in this episode than Wally and Sonic did.
I got another one for you.
Yeah.
I Eobard certainly felt as fast in his episode.
That's how we're gonna do this.
Eobard Goku Black is like the perfection of what I wanted from the Flash episode.
Who would have guessed that Reverse Flash has the best Flash episode?
I mean,
Everyone could have guessed that.
I think all 3 episodes could have been bangers in different ways. That's the only one that matches this one's sense of speed with the other one's sense of being an actual fight. Like, oh god,
Yeah,
there is
also-
some fighting which happens.
Eobard's just the funniest character. I love him.
Oh, he just turned him into an Among Us street.
Among Us.
That felt really was ahead of his time.
What a loser.
Like, like Barry is the star of this episode because everything good that happens is something he did, with the exception of
Pretty
Let's Race to
much.
Japan.
Let's race to Japan. 2 streaks.
Great
Speed
sound
by.
effects, some wind ambience.
You have to give this fight one thing though. It has the bass Super Scroll music.
That's true. That is like the
Is
one
his
thing about
theme
Super Scroll I
fucking
could
fucks?
care about in any way.
God, I know people want him to fight Cell. I don't want him to beat Cell though.
Boring. Scroll is such a nothing.
They're gonna do it though.
Like I can't deny Cell honestly in Dragon Ball Z is also kind of nothing as a character, but at least he's like entertaining.
He'll be voiced by
because of,
Taka,
like-
don't worry.
I'm sure the anime adds something, and I'm sure Kai adds something with the dub. Like, I'm sure there's some reason people get people like this idea in their head.
Like it's the voice that he gets in the dub that
At the same time, I read the
Damien
manga
Clark
as
is
my
so
primary source of Dragon Ball since I started this series. Cell in the manga, like, he has a couple of cool moments, but he's just kind of another Dragon Ball villain. He's not nearly as charismatic as Frieza is. He's not nearly as, like, fun and out there as Boo is.
but like
Not
compared
nearly.
to Super Scroll. Compared to Super Scroll,
You gotta love
it's
that.
straight up Eobard.
You gotta love though that nowadays they're trying to turn Cell into the roast master.
Yeah,
They're trying to make him more interesting by making him insult everybody. Yeah, in
See,
Xenoverse,
the weird part is,
and fighters. He does the same
like,
thing in his
considering
intros.
actual power scaling right now, Cell couldn't really fucking beat anybody in Dragon Ball right now.
Cell is the weakest Z villain, with the exception, or like main Z villain, with the exception of if you count in Raditz.
It's
Wouldn't, because that's still the Saiyan Saga, so Vegeta's the end villain there.
There's Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, Boo, and technically Beerus. Those are the
What about
antagonists
Nappa?
of
And he's not stronger than any of them.
Y'all
And then
mentioned
you've
the
got-
Raditz, but not Nappa.
Generally, this is like a segment, except for the actual killing blow.
Well, why does he quote Lightning McQueen?
Fucking the fodder tiers of Dragon Ball GT are stronger than Cell, where it's like a reset. Goku is a child again, and he's saying like, "Oh, this General Rildo guy is really strong," and he's like stronger than Cell is, and it's like,
Doesn't he say stronger than Boo?
Oops.
Like specifically Boo, who's even
he
stronger.
didn't say he was stronger than Boo. He said this is the strongest guy I have ever fought.
So yeah, he's stronger than Boo.
The time he references Boo specifically is when he's fighting Janemba. He says, "Only Boo has ever pushed me to go Super Saiyan 3."
And then Magneto would go on to kill a child in Japan. Oh wait, I just realized Magneto's in Japan.
I love like the explanations of this episode. Like they don't even try to.
I didn't even realize. Magneto's already in Japan. He's ready to fight Tetsuo.
Different Japan.
That's perfect.
But no, like the way they just go all in of like, no, seriously, Quicksilver was fucked is just great. not even like trying to give Quicksilver anything beyond. Technically, he's got more training.
And in case you're wondering, 12
Can't be the only one who's noticed that.
He's a better piano player.
Magneto is in
Oh, he's
Japan
a better
already.
piano
That's-
player, at least until Barry picks up a book on how to play piano, then he'll learn.
Play piano.
The Flash can think many trillion
So yeah, you know, if they when Death Battle does Cell versus Super Scroll, it's gonna be blah. Because I
I
would
really
want Cell
hope
to
that
win.
Cell. I really hope the Cell matchup is Garo, because it's the only one that interests me to any extent.
See, I'd be sad because Cell loses, but at least it would be an interesting
At
fight.
least it would be against like a good character. And like,
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's like
that's the
I
one
like
thing I'll
Cell,
give
I like Garo. I think that fight plays into both both characters like movesets pretty
No,
well.
what's
I think
next?
it would.
What's next?
Yeah, at least
I think it would be really
The
interesting.
ending could be really cool if it's
Oh, it's the one we just watched.
yeah. If the ending was either a Kamehameha clash, because you never get that in any other episode other than Gogeta, which doesn't count, or you could literally recreate the Boros serious punch thing with Garo and Cell's solar Kamehameha wave. He just does that, and then Garo does the serious punch. That would go so hard. Like, that'd be fucking sick.
It would be really cool. I think it's also neat that it's like both of them trying to like prove their worth to like nobody in particular, just trying to prove, I guess, to themselves that they're that good.
I also, one thing I like is that Cell would eventually get to the point where he's blowing up the planet, and so for Garo to win, he has to basically admit to himself the truth that he's not the villain he wants to be. Like, he just doesn't have it in him. But Cell absolutely is everything Garo wants to be. Just a massive asshole.
I think also what would be interesting there is that every single time Cell started to get his ass kicked, every single time he's starting to lose, he breaks down and starts crying like a bitch. For Garo to be like, this is who I want to be, but also look at like where this has led him. What a fucking bitch. Why did I want to be this?
Yeah. Oh, another thing. This is something that Biff brought up that I thought was great. Have like Garo starts as Beast Garo and gets knocked out of it, and he has a bit of a fight as Base Garo. And then when Garo goes into God Garo, because that would count in a sense as God Key, Cell just can't tell. Like, he's got no idea that Garo's suddenly gotten a massive power-up. He's just like, okay, you look a bit shiny now. Is that supposed to impress me? You haven't gotten any stronger, because he just can't tell. Because he's never encountered God.
Either I'm going insane or you just got immensely weaker.
Like, literally, you can do the, oh, how cute he named it, oh shit, like, genuinely, with Gamma Burst Flash. Or whatever it is. Gamma Ray Burst, that's the name. Gamma Burst Flash is Vegeta's move. Which I guess is fitting.
Because it's like it interests me more than Vegeta's, or not Vegeta, than Cell's other options, because it's like Metal Sonic, Evolto, I'm sure is cool. I just don't have that connection to Kamen Rider.
The aesthetic really works for me, like visually.
Yeah, and like Sephiroth is cool, but it's like I don't know if that necessarily gives me like I just don't know if I see like I think there's a couple cool things you could do with that, but that fight dynamic really doesn't do much for me.
I'm gonna
Uh,
say, as the like biggest Mega Man Zero fan that I know, Omega Zero versus Cell is super mid. It is thematically whatever, but I do not see at all an interesting fight dynamic between them, like in any regard.
couldn't attest. I haven't played. I've
Okay,
played Mega Man Zero 1 for about 10 minutes. That's it.
Okay, so Omega Zero has basically two important forms. Omega, which is a giant robot with a giant sword, and he can shoot some ring lasers and some beams, and that's really about it. And then Omega Zero, which is the original body of Zero from the X era, upgraded to be as powerful as the Zero era body. And basically, he just has all the abilities and stuff that X Zero has. So, you know, X Zero.
That's kind of interesting because doesn't a similar thing happen to X with the fucking like the not X creature?
No, Copy X is like a clone of X that's like meant to be the perfect version of him, but is very much not so. And actual X's body gets destroyed by El Piso in Mega Man Zero 2, but he's fine because he's no longer in that body. And like that's part of why. That's part of what motivates Zero to realize that his body doesn't determine who he is. Just because that Omega guy's got his body doesn't make him Zero. And then Zero kicks his own ass, basically. But if you think X Era Zero, do you think X Era Zero has a particularly thrilling dynamic against Cell?
Not really.
That's it. That's basically what Omega Zero is. He's X Era Zero, but a lot faster.
I played the 5th.
Then fucking Cell versus Darksaber is just one of my least wanted matchups on Death Battle in general because it just sounds so fucking uninteresting. You've either got Cell vaporizes Dark Samus and she can't come back, or Dark Samus just can't die and then like possesses Cell. And you've also got the fact of like Cell like in the main series and with the portrayal of him in the anime, like for if he doesn't have anything else, he still does talk shit. And it's like not only can Dark Samus not return that, Dark Samus also can't emote. Like Dark Samus does have eyes, she has a face, she just doesn't express any emotions. And you've also got like I've heard the people say like, oh, the dynamic of like Cell saying shit and then it being frustrated when Dark Samus doesn't respond. I'm like, well, Cell's not fucking that dense that when something responds, he doesn't just draw the conclusion of like, oh, whatever this is, I guess it just can't speak.
Yeah. A lot of Cell's matchups are against people who don't speak, huh? Like,
yeah, like Amazo, who it's like you've got a few of the Z fighters versus the Justice League.
Yeah.
Let's have Amazo speak like Shatner, and it will be great.
I just don't see the point in Amazo Cell. Like, you just put him against fucking Super Adaptoid and just call it a day. Because then you have the entire Justice League against the entire Avengers in just two characters. Yes. And you don't need to spend all the budget on making all those models or using all those sprites, depending on how they do it.
Put them in a box and make them fight. Don't run away. Come back and fight. You can tell it is nearly 1 a.m. where I'm at.
I can tell. I'm currently looking at the Ultra Guide blog, like where they put their research for the characters.
Ooh, a Sabretooth video.
I'm actually trying to see with Shrinking if they have a link
Shrinky Dink
that they brought up or that was in the corner.
You know, Sabretooth is a based character, but he has like not that many good matchups, if any at all.
No good matchups at all, with the exception.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't hate him versus Wildcat, I think his name was. But that's really that is the best he's got, and that's not the most.
I'm just surprised there's like nothing for him. He just seems like a character that would have at least somebody. But most characters that I think of, like who have some sort of connection that could relate to him, are also Marvel characters.
Yeah.
That's just weird. No, call me crazy.
Time on things that aren't Ant-Man versus Adam. Do we want to say our final words and go ahead and sign off?
It was a fine episode, yeah. I got nothing particularly amazing that I can think of with it. It's got some nice details, and the death is pretty good. I'll have to rewatch it before I can make my review, but like for a return to season, or to Death Battle, not really return to season 10, obviously, but for the premiere, it's perfectly alright. Very good.
Liked it. I really liked how creative the fight got. Like less so with like how like microspace and like above space or whatever the fuck are portrayed, and more so with just like how they play with that level of scale of like cutting from small to big and just like so abruptly, and then kind of playing around with it. I think that's really neat. Um, and I thought the analysis was pretty interesting, especially helped because I didn't really know anything about the characters. I think more than anything, though, I'm really excited for the next time. I'm really excited to see how it goes.
The next time is definitely taking most of my attention, because that's a lot more interesting as an everything to me. Which I know I say that despite the fact that the only character announced for Season 10 that I have more connection to than either Ant-Man or Adam is Alex Mercer, because the others I just haven't experienced. But I am way more interested in Dragonborn versus...
Should play Skyrim in anticipation for it.
I have played like a few hours of Skyrim, but if you know Skyrim...
You'll still be playing it before the episode. You'll still be playing it when the episode comes out.
If you know anything about Skyrim, you know that a few hours is basically like not playing it at all.
Yeah, you should play Skyrim in anticipation.
I played the
for
opening
it.
like 50 times.
Skyrim is on the fucking PS3, and I don't even know where half my PS3 games are.
I just have. Anyway.
I'm also in the middle of playing God of War Ragnarok right now, so.
Ew.
Oh, okay.
The fucking Thor fight is awesome. So far, I think so far. I love the fact that it hits you with Thor as your
derailing
first
again.
boss.
I mean, they hit it with Balder in the other one.
Yeah, and this time, I mean, kind of like the first time, you don't kill him because he's too important to God to just kill immediately. He kicks the shit. He literally kills you and then brings you back to life because he doesn't want to just kill like a weak Kratos. He wants to fight the God of War. He's like, what's this inferior you? Where's the fire? Where's the fury? Fucking hell, man.
I've been asking that for years.
And like Kratos like cuts loose. He gets a few good hits in and Thor's like, better. Alright, I'm gonna leave now. Come back to fight me again when, you know, that's all of you and not just like a temporary thing. See ya. And then sods off. Which, I'm okay with that. I like that. I hope that, unlike the previous game, this one, because I don't know anything about what's gonna happen in it, that this one goes more the Greek route in terms of how it uses the mythology and like actually using Nordic monsters, Nordic creatures, instead of just one or two and then mostly regular guys. I want to fight some gods. I want to do some shit. I want to fight some obscure gods. Let me fight Skadi. That'd be cool. Let me get into a ski fight with Skadi.
Anyone who's watching this and knows the answer.
Shut the fuck up.
Either,
don't spoil shit.
They're either laughing at you or they're like, oh, you better be ready.
Titanium1208, what were your thoughts on Ant-Man versus
I was about to say, I was hoping I'd get to say that. Okay.
I wanted to finish what I was saying before you did, so I didn't just go through.
I was legit like, we're derailing.
I heard you. Go on now. It's your time.
It's never my time, but okay. I really liked it. It was fun. I liked the little car. I liked the Atom sword.
And of course, if Adam had won, you'd be singing a different tune and saying that you thought the episode was
No,
like,
I would. I had like a month to get peace with this. If Ant-Man lost, I would have been okay.
This is 2 hours long.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. Ant-Man is literally like my third favorite Marvel hero. I friggin' love him. So I went in with a decent. You know, this is like whenever they use Thor and whenever they use Punisher. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I was scared that Hank was gonna lose, but I'm glad he didn't.
I won't be surprised if we get Punisher Dread this year.
I know, and that will make me go, oh no, Frank, please win.
Pretty sure he does.
But
Like unless
I
Dredd has,
hope
unless
so.
Dredd has fucking lightspeed feats and he can use his hacks.
Christ.
Punisher fucking just folds him. Dredd's like a building level character. Maybe
Also,
best.
I'm glad that the kill was the ants.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, mate. All right, goodbye. Okay, say your goodbyes first.
Goodbye from the ants.
Sayonara.
I should let you know, Ty, that was a threat. All right, goodbye, everyone. Have a good one. I'll see you for the next video where I talk about this episode more. You guys can't complain about the fact that we mostly went off topic from reacting to death battles, because we reacted to like 5 of them.
We should do that more. Next time we should do Bowser and Ganon.
Gonna leave on that note. Yeah, bye.